Hello, it is finally time. Welcome to the kimchicast for Worlds 2024. The playing stage will kick us off as it has been the event we're waiting for all year. These are the teams that we got on the docket for today. The first two matches, technically of Group A, or the matches of Group A, I guess in this case. The Mad Lions versus Viking Esports, the LEC 3 seed versus the VCS 2 seed. And then we have the PCS champions, PSG Talon, up against the Brazilian CBLOL champions, Pain Gaming. I'm excited. Got my boys ready to go in match number 2. But to get there, we've got to get through Viking Esports, a team that I believe formerly Cerberus Esports. Why does it keep doing? That's annoying. Sorry, the stream has pings. Why are there pings? I know why there are. It's very annoying. Yes. Formerly Saigon Buffalo. Sorry, I'm wrong. But formerly the Saigon Buffalo, they have shown up in as best as they can after all the bans and the reforging of the VCS, the forced reforging of the VCS after a huge match fixing scandal swept the entire league. Viking Esports rose from the ashes to take first in the regular season and narrowly missing out on taking down the VCS champions GAM once again. The champions GAM. And this is odd actually because two of these teams have not been here in a long time or haven't been here at all. Viking Esports, technically the same organization as Saigon Buffalo. They haven't been to Worlds in, it's been a while for the Saigon Buffalo. And for Pain Gaming, it's the first time in 3 years we've seen this team compete. Second place 5 times in a row after winning Spring 2021. They won Spring 2021, then lost Summer, Spring, Summer, or well, Summer, Spring, Summer, Spring, Summer. Oh no, they went to Worlds then. Damn. Yeah. From Spring 2022 to Spring 2024, they were second place to Loud, and I think one time was the Red Cannons, the 5-time runner-ups, finally get the job done, and they will be the last team to represent the CBLOL specifically, as CBLOL will be merging with the LLA. We'll see them tomorrow, and we'll see 100 Thieves representing North America, who they are also merging with, and for PSG and Viking Esports, they got a lot ahead of them too. PSG already confirmed to be in the new APAC region as they won the PCS. Vikings Esports gonna have to be invited or play their way in, as they just fell to GAM and it cost them a lot. We already know Pain Gaming's in. We know PSG is in. Viking Esports, not one of the teams that are in. And it's kind of just forgetting to talk about the one team that is here that aren't a part of these collapsing or merging regions. The Mad Lions, a rather underwhelming team that somehow made it this far. They were not expected to make it this far after not doing super hot throughout most of spring and summer. They made winter finals, and that's pretty much the only reason they're here. Otherwise, 4 and 5 in spring, 2 and 7 in summer regular season, and they got knocked out really early. They are only here because of regional final, because the LEC has 4 playoffs, and pretty much making the playoffs all 4 times or all 3 splits guarantees you a shot at the at least. Actually, yeah, it does. It guarantees you a shot at the LEC championship. I never thought of it like that. Like the LEC championship is still winnable. There's no regional finals in that play in the LEC, so it's a really big deal. But Mad Lions, huge doubt going into this. They pretty much only showed up for two of these events throughout the entire season, and they did not do super hot. And I believe it was they made MSI. Yeah, it was a bad time for a lot of parties involved, but they've only been getting worse as the season goes on, and it's up to them to prove that the LEC is not just G2 and a random team each season. I don't believe in them. I think they can't take the Vikings. I don't think they can take PSG, but you got to play the games. And Speaking of playing the games, Maple's played a lot of them. Betty's played a lot of them with him, and it's the final ride for PSG Talon. At least for their longtime captain. Longtime captain, then not captain, then captain again. Maple playing his final tournament. He announced it at the start of the spring split that it was going to be his final season in Professional League of Legends, and now he has ended up here in Berlin with a shot at one last Swiss stage opportunity, one last shot at a title he's never won. He's never won MSI, he's never won Worlds, and he didn't win any of the early international events that weren't that were endorsed by Riot, and this is the last time he's going to have a shot at it. People don't see him going the distance, but it would be nice to see a really good final send-off for the former Flash Wolf. Yeah, this guy's been playing since the Flash Wolves formed. He was on one of the OG dominant, like, out of nowhere Asian rosters. But Pain Gaming have their veterans, and they are looking to shut them down. They do not want to give Maple that clean final moment in the sun. They want to take that moment from them and get Brazil this international recognition that they've been building up for. The reason they are merging into the Americas League is because Brazil has become such a, not a powerhouse, but such a big region view-wise. They are a growing region. Their fans are ferocious and want to see more of them, and now the viewership going up with a mix of LCS and LLA viewership tanking has meant that CBLOL had enough pressure to force a merger, and now they're going to be trying to draw this audience, and the Mad Lions, oh, we'll get there. God, producers, guys, producers have not silenced the league client, so as the players are getting invited to the lobbies or the producers are talking to each other, the observers are messaging each other, you can hear all the pings. It's very annoying. But Pain Gaming, the last hope for CBLOL to have a really good Worlds run. They've never made it very far. They haven't even made the knockouts. They've only made the group / Switch stage a couple times. This is it. Oh, the ban phase is going on. I can hear it. I don't know if that's a test ban phase or the actual ban phase, but pretty much all of these regions in Group A have made the Swiss stage or knockouts. Europe, of course, famously one of the best regions comparatively to the rest of the world when it's not China and Korea dominating. They're up there competing for some spots. PCS has not made the playoffs as the PCS. They've gotten close a couple times with PSG Talon and CFO putting up a pretty good fight last year. But, or 2 years ago now. Jeez, it's been a while. Man, I missed the flying, or last year's Flying Oyster, yeah. See? But it is... Okay, VCS. I thought you said PCS, sorry. The VCS hasn't made the playoffs as well in quite a while. I don't even know if they've actually made the World's playoffs before, but we'll have to wait and see. Is it time for... Oh, man, I gotta move stuff. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. We're gonna fix this. As we could see, some of the... We're just gonna... Yeah! Welcome to the show, baby. Oh, man. Hold on, I'm gonna fix something. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Boom. It's a slight adjust. Oh my goodness. It's like... Bang. Okay. So, pretty standard draft so far. The bands, really normal. A lot more Poppy. Poppy's been good, but I don't know how much we're going to see of it. Literally, it's kind of been picking up steam over the past 2 or so years, and finally here in the ADC pool, who's going to... I mean, the first game of Worlds, this kind of sets the tone. We've seen a lot that, maybe not play-ins, but the first game of the tournament always sets the tone for how things are going to go. This is going to be the Cassante locked in for Mirwin, and that's just... I mean, yeah, just put a tank in the top lane. Now that does give VKE VKE the option to put this Poppy in the top side if they so choose. I didn't want to use this camera. This is what we got. Usually it's on the bottom, but nope. Ezreal for Shogun here. And that means that Kati, I mean, yeah, Kati was always going to be on this Orianna, but now Shogun on the Ezreal, I'm not super well versed in VCS, but these names, Guri, Kati, Shogun, and BA, very familiar names. Even on the international stage, they've been here a couple times now. And MDK, they got to show up. They have nothing to prove. That's going to be Frescowi's Yone Bandaway. People have been predicting Yone going to rise up in priority. I don't know if it's going to happen. Jarvan taken away would be really great setup with the team comp they're already showing. Would just be someone to, they kind of need someone to throw the ball on right now. They have BA or Guri or Nanaue on this Poppy, but they need somebody else just in case they have a they need that big force engage here that just says, look at me, you're gonna get 5-man shockwaved. And so that means that this is okay, so that sends the Poppy topside likely as we're gonna have Guri on the Lee Sin now against this Nidalee. Gonna try and get that early pressure is not gonna be really there. With Soup on the Jinx, you can kind of put anything with it. You just really want an engage here. You have Cassante, but would always be nice to have someone else. And it's going to be Alvaro on the Nautilus. And what's their top, or what's their mid lane going to be here? I mean, Smolder available. You have Victor if you want AP. They do need AP. Syndra, I believe, got some buffs too. So this is going to be really nice for Syndra, actually. And they need a top laner. I don't think they need Smolder top right now. Renekton would be a really good pick here. Really safe. Camille would also be a really good pick into this Cassante. Just because you're able to chunk him so heavily and block a lot of his damage with the adaptive shields. And Nanaue on this Camille. I don't know how aggressive this team is, but given Kati, Shogun, and BA are on it, I think kind of aggressive is going to be the answer. Now the question is, how are... I gotta reorder some of these. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta reorder my scenes. There we go. And we'll do that. Cool. Reordered some of that. I mean, these are really solid comps. I don't see much for Mad Lions. They have really good poke with Elyoya and Frescowi. They have really good burst with Elyoya and Frescowi as well. Catch out with Alvaro. Supa's going to just be there. That's pretty... They have double late game insurance with the Syndra. Oops, there we go. With the Syndra and the Jinx, both of them going to scale really well into the late game. Ezreal, Orianna, Poppy, not really going to do much of the same. Camille, very much not going to do a ton of the same. Scales well, but you kind of got to be ahead. That's a really nice, like, glow-in-the-dark looking sign. Ooh, they use blacklight markers. That's pretty nice. But the Mad Lions, the favorites here, even though I do doubt them, they still have shown flashes of what they can do. Obviously, they almost took out G2 to make Worlds in the first round. They almost... Actually, they did. They instantly made Worlds with the first round of playoffs going in their favor, and VKE got their work cut out for them as we are into the first game of the World Championships, baby. Let's do this thing. Oh. It's a BO3. I haven't said that yet, but best of threes is... Oh. There we go. We made it in. Okay. But of these... Technically, 3 of these teams can make it, but it's very likely that it's going to be 2 and 2, as Nanaue going to have to get spotted out here. This is not a good position for Nanaue to be, and as Guri's way too far away, I think he's overextended, but Elyoya not going to have a ton of chase down opportunities. If Nanaue could get his back off, that'd be great, but I don't know. Elyoya is just going to keep throwing spears, and Nanaue's not going to be able to base. Elyoya is going to keep the pressure up here with the long-range Qs. They want to get him to use that. Guri going to go in. The root, or Alvaro going to land the root, not the hook, but Guri going to be forced to ward hop away. And MDK have just taken full control of this top side. Instantly taking control of the top lane. Oh, they are showing it with Supa Up in topside, they are showing a bit of a lane swap as Alvaro. This is a bit common even in non-lane swaps. Just leave your ADC alone with the other ADC, and it's going to be a swap. We're going to have Mirwin and Supa up in the top lane. Kati down by himself, or Shogun down by himself, with Nanaue coming down to support him. And the support's going to be playing mid. And the jungler is just going to go for aggressive invades right there. As Alvaro going to land the hook onto BA, but it's not really going to do much, as Alvaro is going to get chunked way harder. And now they know Guri's here, so they have to play safe. But they also know that Elio is not too far away if they ever need assistance. So Frescowi's still level 1. Alvaro is going to get level 2 here. Forehand should be both sides full clearing the other's jungle, as BA is just going to be able to match Guri and Alvaro. Follow him down, keep this pressure on. As the proxy going on the top side, the real question is going to be, how does either side stop this from happening? Is Alvaro's about to get dove? Alvaro has made a massive no, he hasn't made a mistake. Mirren has teleport. Mirren has TP. It's up to BA as the engage going to land onto Alvaro. Forced to flash, teleports in. But there's first blood for Nanaue. But it's going to be traded back for Mirren. The plating goes down. But it's 1-for-1. Trading support for top lane. And Nanaue is just going to be able to teleport topside, though. And VKE answer it, but that was just confident. Confident from both sides, and that's what you want to see. Shogun's still going to be in a good spot, but Supa's just going to keep moving around. Because they're just going to have they're just going to have Nanaue base. Or Mirwin base, and Mirwin's going to be able to just go back topside. He's ahead in XP right now. Nanaue only level 3. Mirwin already level 4. And Shogun's not massively ahead in level, so this is perfectly fine. And here comes Alvaro. Kati gonna just be forced to flash. No chance of getting away from that. Well played by Mad Lions. And now this is an Orianna that cannot move. This is going to be free for the Mad Lions if they ever get to execute on it. Frescowi has free punish now. Alvaro has free punish. And the base going to get canceled there too. The threat of the ball going down is just too much for Kati to just stand there. Oof. The Mad Lions in a really strong position already. It is a kill onto Mirwin, but it's a kill onto both top laners. So it's not that bad. And the CS is pretty even, so it is actually Mirwin not losing a ton. Mirwin kind of has advantage, but also doesn't have advantage, as that's precision protocol, which is just really strong. Mirwin a half level ahead, actually. Don't think there's an XP bar on this HUD, but Frescowi doesn't have any burst, or doesn't have any execute, so Kati just going to be able to pressure a little bit, but here comes Alioya just getting a little bit of some deep vision with the traps. They'll know if anyone's walking through that spot specifically. Only that spot has no wards. But this is a shock. This turns suddenly even, but Shogun very behind here, as not only going to be able to dodge away from the Q3, so chilling. Kati not basing actually did give Frescowi advantage. He's going to be about a little behind, as actually here comes Gory. Nanaue, I don't think they're going to be able to lock down Mirwin. Mirwin's just really hard to keep down. Because he's Cassante with Flash, with W still available. Wasn't forced to Pathmaker, didn't even use, I think he only used footwork on that play, actually. So, Mirwin still, I mean, as long as he goes even if he loses by a little bit, it's fine, but he's even right now with Nanaue. Of course, the world's HUD is broken. Why wouldn't it be? Asupa's back in the top lane. Shogun kind of needs to start matching this. Is Elyoya going to just be able to start the Drake? Supa's up here. Alvaro's up here. There's no chance they can contest this. This is a free set of grubs. Is Alvaro going to get the first plating down? And Supa going to be able to get both, actually. And they've already matched it. Shogun going to be able to get a single plate down in bot lane, so still going to be ahead with that assist as well. But it's not even 100 gold lead. It's a 200 gold lead for the Mad Lions right now, if even. Is BA has spotted out Alvaro. Alvaro might have caught him out instead. Is BA running to the turret, Supa ghosting. There's no flash for BA, and he falls to Elyoya. And that's a bit of an overextension there from the Vikings support. And now Shogun, I don't think Shogun can fight Mirwin yet. He has a tier and a longsword. He is not winning any fights. The Mad Lions going to have the fan advantage as well. I didn't even think of that. The LEC going to have the fan advantage here as they are just packed in to will their teams to victory. Alvaro looking for another one with Elyoya. They have level 6 on Nanoe, so Supa does have to be careful as there's the engage onto Supa, and there's the E. They're going to stop the charge. BA forced to flash out, but he's not going to be able to survive as Elyoya picks it up, and MDK just get the perfect execute there. As Mirwin, I think, has just killed Shogun, as there's the all-out. Shogun going to be able to flash away, but there's the follow from Mirwin, the kick, going to give the kill over to Shogun, just barely surviving that. And Mirwin absolutely just not getting the play that he wants down in bot side, but in top side, Mad Lions are rolling. It's going to give them 600 gold lead now, as here comes Elyoya. Onto Kati, they don't know. But BA is here to match, so the Mad Lions need to be careful, and they realize they can't execute. If Kati's positioning that aggressively, he's got to have someone shadowing him, and he does have someone shadowing him. And now, actually, with the threat of BA and knowing that Elyoya and Alvaro are pathing downwards, they're just going to be able to cancel a few recalls, get him out. Nanoe just forced to hook shot to safety. No mana compared to Mirwin's almost full mana bar. Nanoe just really gotta find a way back into this, and it goes so well, but these, just not flashing the traps is a huge either misplay or genius move, but it doesn't really matter, as they're not going to get Supa down, and they're trying to put Supa behind, but they just keep getting him fed. Shogun plays this as perfectly as he can, jumps away, gets all outed, but doesn't go through the wall. Gets the flash out and flash for flash there. And for Vikings, you want that play. Even if you burn your ADC's flash, it's way more important to A, get a kill onto Shogun, and burn Kasante's flash compared to an Ezreal, who's going to not really need it later on as the game goes on. He's going to have way lower CDs. It's going to be base and force teleport from Nanoe. Just a regular base from Miro, and I think they're going to swap again. They're just going to keep this going as... The heck? Oh, trap. It had to be a trap. Look at Elyoya. You talk about a jungler that needs to get ahead. Elyoya 2-0 and 12 CS ahead on this Nidalee. This is a dangerous Nid and a not so dangerous Cassante right now. Or not Cassante, Lee Sin. My goodness, that's not even a close. Nanoe has no clue what's about to go down, and he's pretty dangerous for him, honestly. They need to catch out Supa. They don't know that they have 2 members topside right now. They don't know that the Mad Lions have 2 members top, as the Vikings member is going to show, and that's just going to be Supa leaving. They're just going to be able to push us out. Jumping over the wall, this is a bit aggressive from Nanoe. And now Shogun going over to follow, but it's not going to get them anything. All 5 members up here. And the turret's just going in. The turret is getting shredded by the minions. That should be a drop plating. Already is Guri behind. Not going to land the WQ over the wall, though. And that's already 1 grub down. They can keep this going. Nanoe has no teleport, though, and they need to be aware of that. As Mirwin is going to get Shogun. That's a huge all-out. The worst all-out you could have possibly given your opponent. And that's going to go into Elyoya's hands, and it's a 3rd kill for this Nidalee. And now it's 1,000 gold, a 1,500 gold lead for the Mad Lions. They're going to get 5 grubs. It's not 6, but it is still very useful. That is disaster for the Vikings here, as they think they've caught out Mirwin. They think Kati's just going to tank it, but no, he's just going to turn and focus. The W's not it. the steadfast presence not in time, and it is brutal to open this one for the Vikings. Not how you want to start this game. Start your Worlds run if you're the Vikings. And now down a level in top lane, even in bot and mid, but is not looking good. And a 3-0 Nidalee on top of it. Already finished with the, I think has been finished with the first item for a little bit as well. No kills on Jinx, but Jinx is still barely outpacing. Those platings were nice as Conti gonna use his vision advantage. This is a full turret gone. Just Conti cannot walk forwards right now to stop Supa. Doesn't even have ulti. And that's gonna be a huge chunk of gold going into Supa here. 700 gold to the Jinx. And Shogun gonna be able to survive. Good barrier there, but that is still disastrous. Just everything besides the dragons really going wrong here. For Vikings is BA just hasn't gotten the plays he's wanted. The Mad Lions have done really well at punishing every single play that the Vikings could possibly go for. As it's now almost 3,000 gold ahead. Gonna hover around like 2,900 and 3,000 for a while if they just keep CSing back and forth, and that's just going terribly. With the 5 grubs too, this Jinx shredding through these platings. IE finished as well. This is just not how you want things to go for for Vikings. As there's the W in. The steadfast presence going to connect. I don't think Mirwan's going to be able to all out very far away as Kati is teleported in, but he's gotten away entirely. The Q going to connect. There's the depth charge. Mirwan finally goes down to Kati. Have they found Alvaro as well? They have. Not away. And Kati pick up the kills. And that's not bad for the Vikings. Why are the logos so small at the top? I just realized that they look so tiny, but they will get some money into the hands of 2 damage carries. Kati just gonna... Oh! Just missed it by a second. And that's not exactly what you want, but it's starting to pull it back. They pay a lot in summoners and ult. They pay a lot in abilities as... Good steadfast presence there actually denies the all-out early, and that forces the flash out of Mirwan. And then Guri, I don't even know if Guri has the flash here. As there it is, and Kati flashed Q, W, and then the E from BA secures the pair of kills. And Vikings are back in this, still over 2,500 behind, but it's the start. They want this Nidalee so badly. That would be a 500 gold kill. They just can't find it. This Jinx still massively ahead as well. Shogun not really involved in any of these plays after the first one. As this is Herald started and Elyoya is just shredding it. You're not supposed to be this far ahead normally. But it is going to be easy Rift Herald, and the Mad Lions are just kind of rolling. Just been denying the Vikings how they want to play. Guri going to steal away some of these camps, but here's Mirwan to try and do anything. It's not going to happen. Killing as much of the wave as they can as well to this turret, but Kati needs to finish this before it completely goes. This is the mid turret gone. Rift Herald's just going to drop here. First turret gone. Will they be able to get 2? Alvaro going to be able to crash this in. The turret will fall on both sides. Tier 1 for tier 1, but here comes a second tier. That's a lot of grubs. As half the next turret's going to go down. BA going to get rooted up. The hook not going to connect, though. And forcing the flash out anyways is so important. Getting rid of BA's flash means he has no snap engage. Kati just going to try and keep Alvaro at bay as it's Elyoya. That's not really who you're looking for, especially with Alvaro right next to him. You engage onto Elyoya, he's just going to be able to flash to his support and get out. And allies just continue to be a problem for the Vikings. They can't solve any of their issues. They finally have an advantage in the top lane, but they're down 2,000 in bot jungle. And that's going to really bite them, especially, again, Jinx Nidalee is not a team you want to be, not a comp you want to be trailing 2,000 gold on. Especially with the gold focused in those areas. It's just painful. So painful for the Vikings to play into this. The Poppy really did not provide that early pressure like they thought it would. The Lee Sin not really able to get much. It has a couple. It has 3 out of 4 KP, but not doing any Lee Sin things. No huge engages, no scary kicks. As they know Frescowy's here. Frescowy, the kick going to connect. There's the QW coming in. Flashing from Guri, and that's the QQ. The Shockwave burned, but they're going to get the shutdown onto the mid lane of the Mad Lions. But there's 4 members. Guri has the side steps. There's the smite coming down, but the ward hop away. Elyoya going to get smoted. I don't know, one of the two, but Guri is nowhere to go. He's just going to have to force the engage, and that's just gone. Super with a Super Mega Death Rocket picks up his first kill. Mirwin stuck in the Hextech ultimatum, and that's Nodaway picking up his 3rd kill of the game here. It's a 2-for-1 for the Vikings Esports, but they're still down 2,500. Kati got the recall up. They did not even focus on Kati. They didn't know he was resetting, and they were able to actually get a ton here. As Nanaway not going to commit. He gets the wave cleared out to bang on the turret, but just leaves. Elyoya is coming. I don't see Alvaro catching up to him in time, and it's going to be up entirely to Elyoya to 1v1 this guy, and I just... Nidalee not going to be able to 1v1 a Camille at this phase of the game. Even with the accelerated state he's in, Nanoe has a Triforce and a Tiamat. You're not fighting him. And he has the shield on top of it. You have to remember, the adaptive shield is really big, actually. It makes killing Camille quite the task. And that's a Phantom Dancer finish now, too. So that's 50% crit with high attack speed on Jinx. This is also not nerfed IE. They just nerfed pretty much every item in the game. Almost every single item just got nerfed. IE's one of them. They took like 10 or 20 damage off of it. 10 or 20 AD. I think it's 20% crit now. I might be dumb for that, but it is definitely nerfed as Drake started. This will not do much for the game state. It does deny Vikings that Drake rush, and it does give a huge burst of damage stats to the Mad Lions, and Kati able to instantly clear that wave with the Shockwave, not afraid to burn it to save a turret. And Nodaway up in the top side, getting a turret as well, as Nodaway just gonna wait to get out as late as he can. Mirroring gonna get a nice amount of damage, but it's not gonna matter. Guri, I don't know if Guri's gonna steal this. Guri, this is a bold play as Casante's nearby. He's pulled it. Does he have the smite? He does have the damage. Mirwin not even going to walk down. Bot side turret falls to Frescowy. And the Vikings have been working to pull this one back. They've had some really nice fights, some really well-executed plays. Still got a lot of work to do because they just fell behind off of standing gold pretty much. And then the kills don't really matter because they fell behind on turrets. A lot of them. Mid lane turrets gone entirely. 2 tier 1. The remaining tier 1s gone as well. They've gotten all the tier 1s on the side of Mad Lions, but those inner turrets are a good chunk of change, and first turret's a big one, especially with turret plating still up. The Mad Lions, a bit over 70% chance of winning. I think it's closer to 75. And they know where the Vikings are the whole time. They have vision of the jungle here, as that's Nodaway just jumping onto Mirwin. He has a lot of damage, but Supa's just shredding the turret. There's no assistance. There's no one up here. What is Nodaway doing? Nodaway. An interesting play there is no other member of his team was even nearby. They were in the bottom of his top jungle, which is nowhere close to being able to help. And so it's a bit of a suicide mission from the Vikings top laner. Like, they had complete control of the top jungle, and just going for that play was not very smart. I know he wanted to try and save the turret, but BA's not there for follow-up. Katsu's definitely not there for follow-up. Shogun's farming mid. There's no angle where they should have went for that play. They should have just sacked the turret and maybe delayed the catch-out, but they have full control of the vision as well, so any catch-out is not going to work unless you completely outplay the opponent, which is unrelated. As Supa going to be able to jump away to safety, or just walk away to safety from Guri if Supa keeps just chunking him. Supa is just destroying Guri, as BA needs to be careful here. Alvaro Elyoya, that is a comp that will make you say bye-bye, as connects, but it's just too late into the recall. Guri going to be able to walk away. Well, I guess base, not even walk away, teleport to safety. Mirwin just ignoring the damage Nanawe is doing. Nanawe. I don't know why I said it so, like, Nananue. Ugh, because I can't read. That is a lot of damage coming up from Nanawe there. And Mirwin's damage is getting denied. And just rock in a hard place, like Malphite says. Caught between a rock and a hard place for Vikings because they are mostly damage dealers. Camille's obviously going to be a bit tankier because of adaptive shields. But otherwise, Lee Sin's relying on damage here and positioning. Kati and Shogun are relying exclusively on positioning. Shogun on, as well, some barrier or lifesteal. But this is not a very tanky comp. Meanwhile, Alvaro and Mirwin only going to be able to get beefier, as a lot of the threats are damage or true damage, and they could just build health and armor for those, as Mirwin's done. Say goodbye to Shogun, as he's forced to flash out. Mirwin not going to be able to do much else after, as Shogun going to be able to buffer this, and BA going to send only Alvaro away, as BA is getting shredded to bits right now. Guri is jumping onto Mirwin. That is not who you want to see. Frescowi tries to go for the E, not going to happen. Did Nanawe just have to ignore his E? No, he did not burn his hook shot. I thought he hook shotted and instantly jumped off the wall. Because if you move after hook shotting, you instantly detach. As Guri needs to be very careful. They have Elyoya pinned, but it just doesn't matter. As there's the Drake just getting shredded. Supa and Elyoya are going to make cake work. Like, just cake out of this. As Nanawe, there's the Q from Elyoya. He was going to be able to survive the unleashed powers. There goes Shogun as well. Kati getting chased down. The spear not going to connect. But there's the hook. And Supa's going to take down Kati. The arm guard burned by Elyoya. But that is all they have. The Vikings not even going to go for a steal. 4,000 gold ahead. Frescowi, Supa, and Elyoya are just too damn strong now. And this might be curtains in game number 1 already. Would have survived. The spear is so perfectly placed. The hitbox is wide enough that he could not dodge if he wanted to. And Nanawe, just the first of many mistakes in this fight. And then huge flash engage there from Alvaro to follow it up. And this is just Baron starting. This is a Baron start, as there's the stun onto Guri. They're going to try and jump out. Guri already chunked down low. Going to be able to jump away to safety, but here's the super mega death rung. Just not connecting, though. They will stop the Baron. They will not die either on top of it, and that is the most important part, is that all the Vikings alive. But 4,000 gold is a big deficit to climb out of at this point when you don't really have anything. You're scaling, but they've already scaled on the other side, as they're just going to start Baron here. Wait, what? They know they're on it. So here comes the teleport from, I believe that's Mirwin teleporting to topside. As that's Baron slain. They're going to sneak a Baron here. And that's 1,500 gold. And they're going to still be 3,000 gold behind, but now they have the purple. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult for Mad Lions. And interesting play. I don't blame Mad Lions for not thinking the Vikings are going to go for a Baron, because why? I mean, you wouldn't. That's a very T1 Baron to go for. Just, you see your opponents get off of it and reset. You're just going to get that. That's a free teleport out of Mirwin. maybe it's delaying the inevitable, but it can't hurt to grab the Baron here. Basically, the moral of the story. But that's a 3-item Jinx. You're on maybe a 2-item Shogun, a 2-item Ezreal when he bases here. And Kati's not really close to that death cap yet, but he's keeping pace, actually. He's actually ahead of Fresskowy. Oh, Yoya is already 3 items. And it is just, you gotta burst him down. He has Hourglass. It is going to be impossible to knock this guy down in one fell swoop. It's going to be a lot of effort to kill this Elyoya guy. They need to stun him constantly. And I just don't know if that's going to be possible. As BA just going to dodge some spears. He knows he's in there already. As Guri, yeah, try and grass out onto Mir when that was an interesting play. And Guri just going to jump over the wall, disengage. We're back to a standstill. But the thing is, Bad Lions losing the Baron matters. But it's not going to matter if Vikings don't put any pressure on. They have not really done anything with this Baron buff. They can't fight, and they can't push waves without risking death, so it is just going to be a minor Baron buff. It stops the complete, the complete annihilation of your game state, but it also doesn't help your game state because you're not strong enough to just force fights. Usually when you're in a Baron position, you're able to just 4-1 split and just force the team to stare you down. You go into a 4-1 split with this team comp, this state, it's gone. Like, your team doesn't win a team fight right now. Just look at this. Even through the Baron minions, it just doesn't matter. VKE are just too far behind. Kate's gonna get something, as he's just gonna watch the little entrance right there. He knows if they're coming from in front of him, so doesn't really need to worry about that. As Guri just gonna try and cancel as many recalls as he can. Not gonna go and try and kill Alvaro. Even through, if the Q landed, I just cannot imagine Guri jumping blindly into the enemy team like a bronze player. BA, on the other hand, might, but he can also eat some of those, so it's not that. Where's the vision? So far, some deep vision from the Mad Lions, but not a ton. The Vikings have literally 0 vision right now in anywhere that matters besides the bottom. Like, they have some river wards, but those are kind of useless for now. Deathcap finish for Kati. That is a huge power spike. Not could be a huge power spike. True Shot Barrage does not connect with anything. I don't know what the plan was. That is also teleport out of Mirwin. They want this dragon. They want Soul Point. They're gonna force Vikings to just cede control there. As Kati, what the heck, stunned him over the wall. That's gonna be BA down as well. And VKE immediately have to bail out of the Drake pit. As what? He stole the Drake. Denying Soul Point. Nanaue has soloed Fresskowy here as Shogun fighting Mirwin. Mirwin not slowing down anytime soon. Shogun able to jump away to safety. Guri 1v1ing. True Shot Barrage connects, but he has way too much shielding available. But that's one. Can Shogun do it all? That's one. But Supa's here. Alvaro's here. It's 2 for 2. It's a 4 for 2 overall. Nanaue gonna start pushing mid. He killed Fresskowy and started pushing in mid. And they get the tier 2 they get the Drake, the tier 2 at the cost of almost their entire team. Kati gets, okay, there it is. Fresskowy comes in huge there with that stun, pretty much ensuring Alvaro's going over the wall and murdering someone. That's huge. 3v5 to start this. Nanaue just says, yeah, you have no unleashed power. You're gone. See you later. And then down here, Shogun's just surviving. The thing with Mirwin is, he does damage in his all-out form, but he doesn't do nearly enough to shut down an Ezreal. And then they keep it going, but eventually the rest of the Mad Lions are able to regroup, and it looks like it's going to go incredible, but it's... Man, Mirwin also didn't kill. Just... VKE, I mean, it ain't pretty, but Who cares if it's pretty? You just gotta go for what you can. They've cut the gold lead down by 1,000 gold at this point. 2,000 gold, actually. They cut it effectively in half. Is Guri gonna cancel Mirwin's recall? You're not going for this. Guri, you're not going for this. Stop posing. They're just trying to cancel recall so Nanaue can keep pushing in these waves right now. And they've drawn the pressure. Nanaue has teleport if they want to call, if Mad Lions or Vikings want to call Baron or fight for Baron, or even just something like a mid-fight. Frescowie not going to be able to cover that turret. If he covered that turret, he would have died. Nanaue, I think he's just going to base here. I don't see an angle where he either doesn't base unless he's just trying to catch out one guy. Guri's getting shredded. That's a 4-item jinx right there. 75% crit. Is VKE going to continue to position aggressively? As that's True Shot Barrage hitting for a lot of damage as well. Frescowie's just not going to be able to clear the waves fast enough. He's able to match the waves, but as long as Nanaue is just standing there, he can't really do anything. Kati going to push in these top waves. They're up to the base in all lanes. All of the... Sorry about that, but all tier 1s and 2s gone. It's up to the base turrets. If Mad Lions want to call this, they are still so strong. They're only 1,000 gold ahead, actually, but Jinx is fed as hell. Ezreal is not. This is very playable for the side of MDK, even if it is only, again, 1,000 gold. Like, the gold lead is focused on Kati and Nanaue. Nanaue, very important, but Kati not really being involved this game. That doesn't mean he's not going to get involved, obviously, at any given point, because he very much can. If he throws the ball onto Nanaue, it is potentially just disaster for the Mad Lions if they do not respect the power that Kati wields. So look at that build. That's a 3.5, 3 2/3 item. Orianna. That ultimate is blowing. QRW is going to nuke someone on the enemy team here. And VKE playing bold. Look at their positioning still. They are just staring down the barrel of the gun. This isn't to say MDK aren't positioning aggressively, because of course MDK are positioning aggressively. They have a big advantage. They know that they can win this fight, but VKE are massively behind. Or not massively behind, but have been kind of just behind this whole game and just positioning hyper aggressively without a care in the world. Alvaro, whew, even through the shield, that's a very big shield still for Alvaro, and it's just shredded as BA, the hook going to connect, and that's going to be a flash out. Kati going to get depth charged alongside BA. Guri going to be able to jump out of safety. Drake in 25 seconds. This fight could be everything. We've seen VKE make these fights messes and somehow come out on top of them. We've also seen the Mad Lions absolutely shut down VKE, so who knows what's going to happen as there's the engage. Mirwin getting chunked down right now as BA charging up the hammer. I don't think he's going to release it. He's going to wait. Mirwin is so low. He needs to base. He needs to teleport. And that's going to cancel it. Mirwin's super low now. And it's going to be a 4v4 for now. Or 5v4 for now. But Frescowie on the flank. If they give her to Shogun, this is huge. Flash going to connect onto Kati. Kati has despawned. Shogun. Supa has so much damage available. They need to stop Guri from getting into this pit. A Barret, already a menace with the Drake, as there's the ulti, but it's not going to do much. That's 2 gone already for VKE. It's going to be 3 for 3 in the Drake category, but I think the Mad Lions are just going to go for the end here. Frescowie just able to chunk these turrets despite not having a ton of AD, or any AD, not even a ton, having no AD. The 5 grubbies mixed with the fact that there are lower defense turrets, they are just going to blow through them. And that's an inhibitor down. They can end the game here. There's 20 seconds till a big ulti's available. They're going to send one away and a part of the wave. Alvaro low, but that's not going to matter too much. True Shot Barrage already used. Are they going to just go for the other inhibitor? Because they can just threaten that. No problem. The stun onto Shogun. And there's the Super Mega Death Rocket. Super dominating the Vikings. And now BA forced to run away. Kati has ulti, but now Guri, no kick. BA, no Heroes or keepers, Verdant, Kati force a flash away as the first turret falls. The all out onto Nanaue. Nanaue taking out Elyoya. That's 3 caught with the steadfast, but it's not going to matter as Kati is so far back now. And now the Mad Lions just going to continue going forward. Supa hasn't found Nanaue, just going to be able to survive, but I think that's game 1 in the books. And it is 1-0 Mad Lions. Big win for them. They have masterfully executed. Okay, masterfully is a strong word, but they weather the storm and they make it out with the 1-0 lead over Vikings. That was a dangerous game they were playing because it did not feel clean. Vikings were way too in there for me to say that the Mad Lions have convinced me, because they should not have even been there shouldn't have been a question with how that game state went, but the Mad Lions played their game as well as they needed to, or as well as they can, and it was enough to topple the Vikings in game number 1. Supa just was so strong, it didn't even matter. So who cares? Like, Supa was a monster that game, but the Vikings did not yield in that game at all, much like Cassante did not yield at all. And I really hope that is a sign of things to come more than it is a fluke performance. I really do hope that is what flash on it. Sorry, they have a really stupid ad. But I really do hope that is the Vikings at least putting up a fight in game number 2, because really good game 1s followed by boring game 2s, very common between two very different tiers of teams, and I hate it when that happens. So hopefully the Vikings know what they want to do in game number 2 and bring it to the Mad Lions. Maybe even take us to a game 3, but we'll have to wait and see, as I will see you for the potential decider of the first match of Group A. Welcome back, as it is 1-0 Mad Lions in the opening match of Worlds 2024, as we are straight into the draft with the other draft screen, the actual draft screen that they probably meant to use, but there were a lot of visual errors at the start, and instantly no changes to the bans, meaning the Mad Lions can draft whatever they want, however they want, and it is fully on the Vikings to find an answer to it. They had some plays where it looked like they were going to do it. They had some really good comebacks, some really good fights from behind, but it's not going to matter, as that's just going to be insta-locking Supa's jinx once again. It was the key piece that won the Mad Lions game number 1, and it could be the piece that sends them to the qualifiers if they do execute on it again. But the Vikings, I'm certain, are not just going to sit there and allow the Mad Lions to do whatever they want, but this is going to be Kati instantly drafting his Orianna once again. It didn't really come into play in game number 1. Maybe they have a way to get it back in, but it just felt so empty. Kati did not really get to do anything. He had a couple plays, but that was about the most he can muster. But this is going to be Shogun on the Jhin now. And the Vikings are putting their eggs into a basket that I don't know how it's going to pay off. Not that it can't pay off. We've seen Jhin have some value as an option to the as an alternative to the really strong ADCs like Ziggs, notable damage dealer Ziggs, or well, AD carry Ziggs, yeah. Cassante once again. Nanaue had a little bit of a challenge to it, but eventually Camille just was not able to do anything. They never got the ball onto him, and they never dove into a way that really was convincing, and they're just going to draft the same damn stuff. The Mad Lions feel no pressure, no challenge from the Vikings drafting strategy, and this is what was banned away from Guri in rotation 2 last game, and maybe this is what they were aiming for. They have Jarvan as an option right now for Guri. He ended up on the Lee Sin, didn't really get to do a ton on the Lee Sin, stole a Drake that was really it. Was a little bit of a nuisance. This Jarvan's going to be really nice, locking down anyone for fours, for fourth shots of the ultimate or any shots of the ultimate. A big shockwave threat as well as Cataclysm, already a force flash kind of situation, and then adding the ball to it, a bigger force flash situation. That's gonna be Viego take it away from Alyoya, one of his best champions, really. I Again, these guys really haven't been super impressive entering this season. They had a really good, again, really good winter split or split one, depending on who you ask, and a nice run. Oh no, they didn't go to MSI. Damn, what MSI? And the two, I can't remember who went in the 2-hole for the LEC. Poppy taken away from BA wasn't really that useful at all. Like, I know why they drafted it, and they almost got close to getting what they wanted, but it just was not enough. That's going to be Belva taken away from Elyoya as well. Basically, his two best champions, and Vi, who is just really good all the time. Those are two of his most played of the season. And him playing those champions were actually a huge reason that the Mad Lions made it to top 3. We're able to take down G2. And BA gonna be on a champ we've seen him a ton back when he was on the Saigon Buffalo. And obviously seen a ton of supports on. Would have been the Rel, but they're just gonna save support last pick. With the top lane already showing, they don't really have a reason to hide it. They're gonna send it this time. They only hovered it for a little bit on R5, but now they're going all in. Nonaway on the Renekton. And are they just going to give Alyoya? This is the same team comp. This could be disaster for Vikings. Because this pretty much warmed them up. They will have something instead of the Nautilus that will be the Rel instead for Alvaro. But it's pretty much the same play. Catch out potential with Alvaro. And then just blow people up. Then BA also does play a lot of Star. Would not be surprised to see him on it. It will give them a weak early game. Like super early game. If they do traditional lanes this game to start it off, Alistar just not really going to be able to do anything here. I don't think BA is going to be able to flash Q in safely and get out. And Shogun obviously doesn't have a ton of damage early because Jin really only has a 4-shot with one item. The early is going to be super Mad Lion sided. We're just going to have to wait till 2 to 3 to really see the Vikings execute this bot lane strategy if they have one. Obviously, they have one, but you're going to need to see them get a couple levels or just go for a swap here. Swap was initiated by the Mad Lion. So we'll see if they go for one, if the Vikings initiate one, or no one initiates it, which could be a strategy. It's not like MSI where pretty much everyone's playing the lane swap because they've nerfed quite a bit of the parts of it that made it function. They nerfed, most importantly, damage. Or not damage. Oh, Timo hats, man. They had none when I went to Worlds and LCS. I was so mad. But you can't see it. It's slightly off here because I had to crop. But it's giving the same team comp to the Mad Lions. Not the best idea. And also, back to what I was actually saying, lane swaps, nerf turret gold, and damage, I believe, to turrets as well, or for later platings, as Vikings looking to force game 3. They went back to the red side. They think they got a strat. Let's see if they really do, as the Mad Lions are looking to punch their ticket to the qualifying match for the Swiss stage. Is Guri not going to be able to really win these? BA and Alvaro positioning up. Supa going to go deep here. Going to get that vision secured, and they can still go for it if they so choose. I just want to make sure things are actually showing. But they can, as Alvaro and Supa are both up here. So Alvaro's still in position to go mid lane, and they're just going to steal away some camps, possibly. not gonna go for it. Elyoya gonna steal away this red buff here. We're gonna get full swaps again. And a mid lane rematch. And completely different supports. That is pretty much the only thing that's changed in this game is both supports are on different champs. I mean, comparatively, both supports only champs that change. BA and Alvaro just gonna stand here. Either of them engage, it's kind of a disaster situation. Guri gonna be able to grab his blue buff at least, so he's gonna have some advantage. As Guri spotted out, I think they know that Alvaro's in, or Elyoya's in the Vikings top jungle. Can't imagine them not knowing. It's just the same situation again. Top lanes going to just answer, and we're not going to see the same angle as BA actually hung around a lot longer to dive Alvaro here. As that's Ignite down, forced to flash away. And Elyoya is going to be in a great spot here. Smite here, not gonna be up, and that's Frescowi just rotating down. Q auto, it's too easy. And the Vikings try to get aggressive. They just can't match it, though. Just not quite enough damage. If Guri had Smite, would have gotten that, but it's just not happening. As here's Elyoya now. That's the Q stun landing. I don't even think Frescowi's thrown the E. There's the Ignite down. The auto's not going to be enough. Elyoya going to be able to pounce forwards and take the second kill of the game for the Mad Lions. And this is already huge. Teleport in. Pati just not flashing. And this is a super uneven position now. Just everyone's ahead. Supa's ahead, a little bit of CS. But the plating does go in favor of Shogun, so they have that. But Elyoya is just so accelerated. Again, it's not going to matter yet. Elyoya just smites it away. Guri not going to be able to get out. That's Elyoya picking up a second one. And Supa, Shogun's dead here. That's the flash out. Stun comes through. Cleanse comes late. And that's a lot of damage off the 4-shot, but Elyoya going to be able to get both summoners alongside Alvaro out of Shogun, and this is a disaster. Already 1,000 gold ahead, or 1,500 gold behind. Guri is mega useless. Level 2 cleared 2 camps. He's gotten 3 camps, actually. Blue buff, Raptors, and Wolves. And that is it. Elyoya has everything he could ask for here. Here he's just going to walk away and reset. And just go for his camp resets. He is just in a disastrous position. This game already going belly up for the Vikings. It hasn't even gotten started yet. Just what is the answer here for Vikings Esports already, which is concerning that we have to ask that because it should not be the case yet. But there's just nothing. They didn't even need Mirwin. Mirwin was just bot side the whole time. That entire early play was just a Renekton and Cassante just not being involved. And it's just one minion more from Nanoe. Would be more if he doesn't shove this in time. If Mirwin just isn't able to catch any of this, but I don't see Nanoe going for a dive here or really pressuring a kill onto the Mad Lions top lane at this state of the game as well. Not gonna happen. Both will hit 6. That's really irrelevant. Alvaro gonna Hex Flash out. Interesting dump. Shogun. Now in the standard lanes, it's just a massive diff. Both of Elyoya's kills are going to be just again, this Nidalee was just execution. It's just such a threat. And they're gonna lose the grub that they wanted. Guri just like 18 damage too early. Now Alvaro up here. Supa's up here as well. Supa's not really a damage threat yet. If they go for the dive, this could be dangerous for Mad Lions. Nanaue is very strong here. Even with no items, he is in a really good position with his ultimate. But now he's ignited. Super Mega Death Rocket. Supa's already level 6. And they get them biting, overstepping. It's a double for Supa as Alvaro just hasn't done any damage yet. And Shogun doesn't have the damage yet either. And it's everything going wrong. And they can keep this going. Yoya's half health. Yoya's almost half health still. And he's going to keep healing up with his W. This is not what you want if you are Vikings. If you are a VCS fan, you're just seeing your team get bullied off the rift right now. It is everything going wrong. There is not a single thing you can say that would imply that this game is going right for Vikings Esports, because they're behind everywhere now. Supa picking up another kill there. Absolute disaster. Yoya's accelerated. Now Frescow was already accelerated. And now Nanaue is just going to be falling behind. This is just every single thing you can ask for going in favor of the Mad Lions. This dive, Nanaue just not respecting. Like, just not respecting, and there's no damage. Shogun reloads, and the root into the stun, he just inputs that auto a little too late, and it's just pain. They don't lose anyone else, but all that matters, the threat of the dive meant that they had to surrender again. And you're really relying on Kati, but even then, Kati's just not in. Kati's your closest member to being relevant, as there's Shogun. There's the all-out, and that's Shogun just gonna have to flash. Flash for flash. Shogun gonna just ulti here. Elyoya not going to fall here, but there it is. Actually will in the end, not to the ultimate, but it will be to Guri. They get something back. There's the engage. Q3 gonna send Guri into the turret, but Kati gonna pick up that one, and it's something for VKE. They get a pair in the bot lane as Nanaue just getting bullied. With BA gonna knock in Supa. Supa stunned up, but there's Nanaue not able to continue going forwards. Nice traps. Nanaue gonna be able to get zoned off. And they're not gonna be able to get Alvaro here either. Oh, there's the stun coming through, and now the teleport coming out from Frescow means the chase is over. If Alvaro can hit this crash down onto Nanaue, it would be perfect. It's just not enough. And again, play just works for Mad Lions. Now they're 2,000 gold ahead in a super great position. And they're going to be able to just keep pushing this. Like, again, look at that chart. Start second in winter. And then drop to 7th. And then they finish in 6th, so who cares? Drop to 8th. Drop to actual 7th. That was 6th to 5th. Oh my goodness. This was just bad. Like, that's all that mattered. They beat G2. As there's the unleashed power. Not going to kill off Kati, but Shogun's just getting bodied down in bot lane. And Supa's got 3. Shockwave kills off that wave instantly. Kati going to be able to reset. Guri is just not able to play. This is just kind of what I said would happen. As Mirwin going to be able to pick this one up. Nanaue is going to go bye-bye. Actually, forced to flash. Will survive. And has the wave here, but Mirwin has his. So, who's actually winning? What is the angle? We saw them come back from a lot in game 1, but not that much. As There's just the headbutt out. Not even going to go for the pulverize. Just once. That line's gone out of the turret range, but that's not going to stop him from doing anything. As they're still here. Elyoya can just wrap around if he wants to after Krugs. This is a dangerous position. Why am I hearing Shogun's auto sounds from mid lane? Okay. Sure. They're working on it. Where is the angle for Vikings? Because almost 4,000 gold behind. Not even 12 minutes into the game. That is not what you want to see. As the engage from Alvaro, not going to really go anywhere. Supa going to get rooted, but it's only going to force him to tank one. Is Elyoya is just here. He was able to walk behind, headbutt away. Shogun has no flash. Good pulverize from BA, and I think BA is actually going to be able to survive this as well with the unstoppable. Now, tier 1 already gone. Tier 2 is not going to get much more. Is Guri going to smite it? Guri backstep smites. So it's going to be 3 for 3 on the grubs, but it is already first turret down. And Supa's just going to keep going on other sides of the map. They're just going to move him around. He's going to farm up some platings elsewhere. It's 2 plates in favor of to Vikings. And already 9 plates to the Mad Lions, including, I believe that is 6 or 7 to Supa alone. Tati is just getting chunked at this point. That's already a companion finish. Supa stepping up. There's the engage, and they're going to shut him down. Cataclysm a bit much, but there is Nanaue getting 550 gold. A stimulus right into the VKE economy. They're only down 3,000. Really good Lion weight because they just kind of punish the vision game. That's going to be something. Just something to play off of. I mean, this is behind TRN. As okay, Scuttle's not going to mean a ton. It's going to be nice, but that's really it. For Scowie teleporting back to mid. Boots in hand. Nanaue just going to be able to kind of face down Mirwin right now because he has that Black Cleaver. But this is also Herald's going down in favor of Mad Lions. There's just no chance for a contest. This is a turret going down in top lane as well. The tier 1 just going to disappear. And eyes are going to be on the mid turret right as Drake is spawning for the Mad Lions. This is a perfect situation. You could not write up a better situation than a 3-kill Jinx, 2-kill Nidalee, and a kill on Syndra at 15 minutes. As the lane economy is screwed everywhere except for top lane, which doesn't really matter because it's a Renekton versus a Cassante, and that's pretty much off of the back of 1 kill and some CS. Off of 1 kill, that was really only worth that much because they've been having a terrible game. As Alvaro Frescawi just solo Shogun in the middle of nowhere. As there's the wraparound, not gonna be able to hit BA. Gonna get Katsi, and I think this turret's gone. Nice shockwave, but that means nothing. The stun lands on a Katsi. Are you kidding me? A lot of damage, but there's the Crashdown Magnet Storm. There's the flag and drag. It will be Conti taking down Mirwin as Nanaue trying to keep the chase going, but Elyoya going to be able to pounce the safety. And there's the Super Mega Death Rocket for Supa. And he's looking for 4. He's looking for all 4 of them. But he's not going to get any of them, but that's all they need, really, is they take out 1 member. They take out Nanaue. That's all they really have needed to just be a problem. It's going to be the first strike of the game at 16 minutes. It doesn't even matter because Drake stack is not going to matter at all. Shogun already died here, and then Nanaue, great punish on the teleport. He would have had free access to Elyoya, Had they not used the Rift Arrow to instantly crash into him, great driving there, great shockwave as well, but it does nothing. Kanti has no damage, and there's no follow-up here. Guri gonna get this flag and drag. They're trying to get onto Super, but they have no Cataclysm for a little bit longer. So Guri's just sat. Actually, they do have Cataclysm. Just Guri knows he dies if he uses it because he already burned his flash. And then Kanti flashing away, just not enough damage. The LJL supremacy. We'll see that in tomorrow as the SoftBank Hawks take on 100 Thieves? No, take on Gam, actually. Sorry. Rainbow 7 take on the Thieves. It's Gam versus the LJL's champion, the SoftBank Gaming Hawks. We'll get there when we get there. Kanti just trying to zone off Alvaro, but Alvaro is not even looking for an engage. It doesn't even matter. 1,000 gold ahead already. It is just pain. As Alvaro just jumping in, he doesn't even care. Super Mega Death Rocket follows all the lockdown. Kati is off the rift once again. That is 5 kills for Supa on this Jinx, and he is just fed. Just rolling them over now. They fear nothing. This is a mistake. You gave them exactly what they wanted again, as Nanoe is getting locked down outside of his base. He can't get out. He's gonna force his ulti, as that's a 3-man stun on the Scatter the Weak. That's not called Scatter the Weak. Shush. As Shogun going to be able to trade back 1. The ulti coming out. Supa can dance really well, though. Frescowy just standing there. He's an execute machine now. Almost at 100 stacks of, I believe it's 120 to get the ultimate up. Supa, 2 items. Not even 20 minutes. Not even 20 minutes. This guy's 2 items. And then just the combo. There's just Syndra moment. Play around at Shogun. Level 9 ADC versus a level 11 Syndra. You cannot win. And that's a Void Staff. That's a 2nd item Void Staff. Say goodbye to your boots. Say goodbye to your Verdant Barrier. It doesn't matter. You are not building enough to justify building it as a non-tank. It is pretty much just going to be BA and potentially Guri if they want to tank. And maybe Nanoe if he wants to go for something like a Force of Nature, but not looking too hot here. Things are going wrong. They have full control of the Rift. They've kind of locked down Mirwin, but Mirwin has ulti. There's the all-out into the Baron pit. Guri, 1v1. There's the Cataclysm flashing away. Guri going to be able to flag and track back in, and there's Nanoe coming in with the assist to pick up that kill. But they waste so much. Guri has no ultimate. He has no health right now. There's the duck. Team Heretics duck. But 0-4-1. Mirwin is the sacrificial lamb of the Mad Lions. Does give a little bit of a stipend. Another random stimulus for VKE, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. There's still 6,000 gold ahead right now. Frescowy wins this. Guri needs to leave right there. There's no chance in hell Guri wins that. Not a chance. This is a 2-item Syndra against a 1 2/3 item. Oh, BA is dead here. As Headbutt going to connect onto Alvaro so we can run away a little bit. Teleport, force here. Guri in the backline as Frescowy going to be the target, but now the curtain's opening up. It does nothing. And Supa's just free firing onto Nanoe. And they're looking for 5. Nice Q flash. Shogun falls double for Supa. They're looking for the 5. They want to give him it all. as he's just crushing. Super Mega Death Rocket flashed away, but it's not going to matter as it's a flash follow. Triple kill for Super. And they're onto the base of the Vikings. One dragon take in this game so far. Please don't make me sad, Mad Lions. They are not. The Mad Lions are the Glad Lions right now. It's an unofficial quadra for Super. And they're gonna get the full 5-4 off of the Vikings here. And this is the end of the game, I feel. No, they actually can't. Nanaue and Shogun are here. There will be potentially a second dragon. I don't even know if they need it. Like, there is one Drake in 20 minutes. And Nanaue's off in the middle of no man's land. He's just eating. Look at this. And Shogun just... There's no damage. Kati still doesn't have any damage. They get such a good chase down here as well. I mean, VKE, they run as best they can, but it's not going to matter. It's just a tiger, a little cougar chasing them down now. And the Mad Lions are cruising in game number 2. There's not a doubt in the mind of anybody that they're taking this, but it's going to be objective bounty in favor of the Vikings, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much. We will finally have a Drake, not even Chemtech Rift, an Elemental Rift, as we had a really long time. Usually you see the Elemental Rift come out in like 15 minutes. At the longest, 22-minute Elemental Rift. I don't think we're going to see a slower one all tournament. The Lions had no reason to really care. And, oh, that's going to be the bot tier 1 down. So objective bounties will be closing for the Vikings soon, but they're in Hibs down. And this is a barren start by the Mad Lions. Are they going to commit to it? No, they're mostly just baiting them in as there's a huge engage, but Guri going to be able to disengage as the all-out onto Mirwin. I don't think BA's 1v1 again, and Kati just getting jumped on. Kati does nothing here. They're trying to get onto Supa, but Nanaue just doesn't have the damage. The curtain's open. Elyoya takes down BA. Mirwin won't even fall as Alvaro's standing there in front of him to tank the shots. It's a double for Elyoya. Guri survives the Super Mega Death Rocket, but I don't think it's gonna matter. And MDK, eyes on the base, but they're going to have eyes on the giant purple worm. As they're 9,000 gold ahead, they're just going to be able to baron off of this. The minions will do all the hard work for them. And Soup is just waiting for a tankier member to come in, so he doesn't eat all the damage. And this is a 3-item Jinx. Going to be 4 items, pretty much guaranteed on base. 3,500 gold ahead of your lane opponent. Now, the support is 2,000 gold ahead. Alvaro has 16 assists. This guy has been involved in 16 of 18 kills for his team. He is killing it. And 9 of those kills are for his ADC, and this is just a problem. Oh, it wasn't a 4th item finished. It was just the Zeal picked up. This is a problem. Ha. Oh, they gave the prod team 1. This game is, the Mad Lions just walking into the base. They're just walking down mid. They're just gonna escort these waves while Mirwin just pushes in top side, or pushes in bot side here. MDK don't need to pressure anything. They could just cruise to the finish line here. This is just not really a threatening situation. The Vikings have no pressure to put onto the Mad Lions. And the Lions are just standing there waiting for a mistake because there's no reason for them to force. Forcing can only go wrong for them right now. In the LEC 3 seed, they only get their stuff together when it comes to knockouts. They've had a rather good pair of knockout rounds this season, and they're looking to make it a 3rd really good knockouts run is there's the jumping onto Alvaro. Nanawe's trying to chase down Supa. It's not going to happen. That's the bot turret down. There are no chances. As that's a two-man engage. Mirwin will fall. Eventually, he's going to get the all-out, but Conti going to pick up the top laner eventually. Alvaro is going to be gone. The 4-shot doesn't connect. And it's going to be a 1-for-0 as Frescowi just going to go for the scatter of the week. Or not even the scatter of the week, the orb. But that's going to be a double for Conti here. So he's going to get a shutdown, but now Nanawe has fallen. For Elyoy, he's on a killing spree. Shogun finds Alvaro. But there goes Guri. BA's on the wrong side of the base wall. He's gone. Elyoya is unstoppable. And now in Supa and Elyoya versus Kati and Shogun. Can they show out? 11,000 gold lead for the Mad Lions. They're just going to take this next turret as Kati doesn't really have the damage. Elyoya's just going to be able to jump the wall in a moment to safety. They're going to get a lot of this wave cleared out, so it's going to end the Baron power play. Only up 1,100 gold, but they're also onto the Nexus turrets. And while they lose a ton of their base, they do fight back to 10,000 gold behind, which isn't saying anything. But they organize the fight in a way that works for them. Is Supa just going to get chunked? There's the shockwave. Can he find the kill here? There's the ball, and that's a 900 gold stimulus check in the pocket of Kati. He heard me talking trash, saying he did not do a ton last game, and he is the sole reason the Vikings are still in this game now. 5 kills of their 10. 5, 4, and 2 on the Orion overall. 3 items. He is the difference maker that's going to have to save this series for VKE because it's just not really happening. How much of this is even going to matter is that's the 3rd Drake of the game taken down. 28 minutes. This is the world's latest Drake soul if VKE can stretch this out because, dear God. Like, 28-minute 3rd dragon. These teams do not care about this big lizard. They care about the other big lizard. They can... Oof, this Ori's doing damage now, too. Even without a death cap, this Ori's a threat. Like, this Ori, if you put... Oops, sorry, I'm bumping into the mic a ton. But if you get Kati onto Supa, onto Frescowi, onto Elyoya, they despawn. There's no chance they survive that. No qualms at all. They just die. But now it's up to the fact of... Why are you looking at Alvaro here? As they're not even going to get the airborne. Still not going to connect from Alvaro either, but that's a heal to full. Nidalee has a lot of AP. Why does Nidalee have an AP scaling heal as an assassin? No one actually knows. Seriously, no one knows why. It's just in the kit. And it's just escort these waves into mid. How did that miss? God damn. Having a rough start to the tournament are the Vikings. A comeback loss in game 1 and now just a blowout in game 2 where they're just struggling to hang on at all. Is Guri gonna get engaged on? There's the all-out. They're gonna get the stun, the crash down, and the not the surging strike, the shattering strike. I'm thinking of Pokemon too much. Too much of Shifu is bad for the brain. What's not bad right now are the Mad Lions' chances at winning this series and punching their ticket to the qualifying match and sending VKE into the lower bracket. They're on to the final inhib turret. It's all gone. There's nothing left. Supa is just free firing. He's so damn strong. 4-item Jinx at this phase of the game. Shogun barely gonna survive, as that's gonna be the first Nexus turret falling, it seems. There's one huge crash down. Magnet Storm, 2 for Mirwin, 2 for Supa, and 1 for Frescowi. It is the clean sweep for the Mad Lions. They'll take the 2-0 to the bank. and send VKE back into the lower bracket, and they will face the winner of PSG Pain Gaming in 2 days for the first shot at the Swiss stage. And the smiles on the face, they were feeling themselves in that game. They said, "You're going to have that confidence against us? We're going to shatter it real quick." And the Vikings have learned a valuable lesson. Do not let your opponent do whatever they want. And here are the Mad Lions to take their first bow of the World Championships, as they are our first winners of the World Championships as well. And a good start for Europe at the tournament, taking down one of the higher level threats in the play-in stage so far. 2-0 lead now. Or 2-0 win, not even a lead. But a clean 2-0 gives a lot of confidence for the European fan base that wants to see this region really show those expectations, that they can show that they can live up to those expectations that have been kind of lowered recently. They've been, no longer are they aiming for semifinal. I mean, obviously the teams want to make deep runs in the playoffs, but I'm more saying that no longer is the hope of the region to make semifinals. They're just hoping to make knockouts and put up a good fight in the quarterfinals, which is a shame because they have been trying their damnedest, and a team like the Mad Lions have not been helping. An underwhelming performance, to say the least, from the Mad Lions historically on the international stage. The first of the big four regions to get knocked out of the playing stage, and they come back and do this. And that is hope for the future for the Vikings. That is a brutal series. You get close to coming back in game number 1, and you just get decimated in game number 2. There's a little bit to play off of, but it's just not looking pretty for your team so far. And now you face the loser of PSG Pain Gaming in the first elim match of the tournament in a few days. It's not what you were expecting, and it's not what you want to see. You're hoping Vikings come back stronger to put up a fight in their next series, as it is do or die now for the rest of the tournament for them. And with that out the way, it is time for the final series of the day. Best of 3. PSG, the champions of the PC of the new, or the now folding PCS. Jeez, I'm doing the interviews. Hell yeah. And Pain Gaming, the final champions of CBLOL, facing off for a shot at the Mad Lions in 2 days. See you for the final 3 games of the day. Welcome back. It is time for the final series of day 1. Group A wraps up. PSG Talon taking on Pain Gaming. And Pain Gaming are underdogs. The recently published global standings, I forgot to even mention them in the first series because Vikings are way down there compared to the Mad Lions. And similarly, PSG way up there compared to Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming 59th in the standings, I believe. 56th or 59th. One of those weird upside down numbers that you can flip and get a different one. PSG Talent 19th. They are the 19th best team in the world, according to ELO system that has just been implemented and retroactively applied to this season. So it is a bit of work to be done, and take it with a grain of salt, because that is also, I mean, yes, of course, they did almost beat Billy back at MSI, but that is also heavily inflated because they almost beat the 1 seed, I believe Billy were. Yeah, the 1 seed of China somehow. Don't ask questions. I mean, I loved it, but it was sad that we lost. And then they got smoked by G2, so it was like, yeah, that was winning 2, losing 3-2 really raised their elo, and then the loss to G2 barely lowered it comparatively, which kind of is why they are that high. But they are the 2-time, not even the 2-time, the 7-time, and now like 2nd time in a row, back-to-back PCS champions in the merged PCS as well. They're the only team to win that merged title, or the 2 merged championships before the APAC. and now they are the final champions of the region before merging with the VCS as well. And they have some of the best players historically from the international stage on their team in Maple and Betty, two former Flash Wolves themselves, as I mentioned at the top of the stream. And it's an uphill battle here. Pain Gaming, no slouches, but as the desk pointed out, stylistic mismatch is what we're looking at here. Pain Gaming, very fast. They play the speed that they want. Like, they are blitzing the opponent. Very aggressive players. That's the first Aurora ban, and that is Maokai taken away. We didn't even see Aurora ban, not even contested. But Maokai, you give that to Pain Gaming, you lose the game. You give it to Junja, you lose the game. But you give it to Pain Gaming, still not going to be a good time. Oh yeah, Junja also former. And Ash going to be taken away again. No Ash is allowed. 3 for 3 on Ash bans. I really should have said that for pick'ems, but it's whatever. It's too late to fix it now. And Syndra taken away from Maple. Another champ he plays a lot of. And, oh my goodness, based off of last game alone, yeah. Oriana taking away Dinketo, one of his favorite champions to pick and play. And it's going to be Kalissa taken away from Betty. I believe he did get to terrorize it a little bit of the MSI stage with his Kalista, but not going to get it this time. PSG getting side selection as they were the higher rated team entering this tournament. Actually, it might have been coin flipped, and this would be interesting as nope, it's just going to be Junja getting his Skarner. He's played so much of this champion in playoffs, like, it's not even funny how much this guy gets this champion. Like, it was one of the best things to see. Especially because PSG just kind of had to adapt to Maokai being banned. Junja and Woody both played the Maokai, so a lot of the PCS and I guess the rest of the LJL and LCO kind of knew just to not let it through. As that's Weiser. That is Weiser's team. Or Weiser's pick. I mean, maybe Dinketo gets his hands on it, but I think it's Weiser's. He also did get buffed as well entering this patch. I believe it was a buff this patch. It might have been. As Karaoke. Yeah. Karaoke getting Sejuani, one of his I would say it's his most played champion. Sejuani has been pretty good for the last, like, 3 years now. It's insane, but just Karaoke, very comfortable on this champion. Plays it a ton. Just can't see it. I don't know. They're saying mid lane. Oh my god. Aja on the Rumble. This is one of his safer picks here. Very common for Aja to get his hands on this. And this would be Betty's Jinx. This is another Jinx lock-in, and it could be devastating. But it's going to be Maple on the Tristana, actually. If you have listened to any talks of the PCS top laners, Aja is really not on Heavy's level still, it feels like. He kind of is the reason PSG he's kind of the reason PSG struggle as much as they do. The consensus is that PSG consistently have the best mid, jungle, and ADC in the league, and they will play around it as much as they can. Varus going to be taken away from Betty. This is pretty much Betty's best picks taken away from him. Kalista, Varus, and now Ashe taken away. Betty is a massive threat. You have to respect Betty. Maple, of course, you have to respect. He's fallen off over years just because he's been playing for almost a decade. Actually, over a decade now in the Tier 2, or what is now a Tier 2 team, and the Tier 1 scene, but still got it in him to be really strong. Titan, I think it's Titan. I've always called him Titan, but apparently it's just Titan, which I feel stupid for, but Titan going to lose his Ziggs. Every player is pretty much going to lose their Ziggs in this tournament. I just don't think anyone's going to let that through. Woody going to lose one of his most played champions as well. Still has the Rail in the back pocket if they want to go that angle. But the Knot would have been really nice to just secure good lockdown combos with the Skarner. And allow Maple to just blow someone up in the bomb. So now what is the angle for the final ban. They want to get rid of something from Kuri or Titan, and they're going to get rid of Kuri's Alistar. And it's going to be Lucian. Lucian will be interesting, as that's going to be Betty on the Misfortune. Pretty much one of the best ADCs of the summer split. Has been a bit below the obvious Ziggs, Callista, Ashe, but this is the combo you want to see. Woody on the Rel with the Skarner. Don't pick Bard. Lulu would be interesting, but I don't know if the Lulu's what they need, and they are just going to give Woody the Rel because that is kind of the angle PSG want. Ooh, that would be insane, but not likely the case. It's going to be either the Nami, the Milio, or the Lulu, and it's going to be the Nami Lucian, if you remember. Oh my goodness, was it 2022 where this just was the only bot lane people were running? Miserable time. Zeri, Yumi, Ashe, Lulu, not as bad as that. I don't think anything's ever going to top Zeri, Yumi, Ashe, Lulu. Or Ashe Varus as well was also. I think it was Ashe Varus. I think I'm just an idiot. I feel like off center. Like I'm supposed to be here. I'm just not. I'm like way offside. Stupid. PSG, pretty much this is a quintessential PSG draft. And honestly, I like Pain Gaming. And I kind of know this is a lot of their style. And honestly, PSG with just a boring, with what a lot of people would consider a generic comp. But Pain Gaming, I love that about Brazilian teams. They are never scared to just play their game on the international stage. Like, they are just never afraid to play the game that they want to play. And we're going to need to see this happen. With the Jack Sock, and it will be Dean Cato on Pain or on the Yone. I really would have loved to see top Yone, but not going to be the angle. The Pain fans have traveled. Holy cow, the Pain fans are off in Berlin. And they are cheering on their team to what would be maybe their biggest win, not the region's biggest win. The region has beaten some pretty impressive teams before in their history, but this might be the most impressive series of wins if they could pull it off. And I'm not saying PSG alone. I mean, if they win this series and the MDK series, it might be, not that. I meant to go here. There you go. This is high quality. This might be their most impressive series of wins if they could pull off what is maybe one of the tougher play-ins group or play-ins set or god, one of the tougher play-in stages. It would be PSG. If they lose this, they would go through Vikings and then either the Thieves, SoftBank Hawks, or GAM. And that would be like a pretty impressive matchup, to say the like this. That would be a pretty impressive run considering the strength of the region. Pain Gaming is the highest rated team in Brazil from Brazil in the standings in the new world rankings, and this should honestly be the first big upset already. A 40 position underdog. And we're not going to see any lane swaps here, but the 40 position underdog, who knows? The best thing that Pain Gaming have is I guess not surprise because teams research, but just their style. So different from some regions. This is mismatch. PSG scale and team fight. Pain Gaming just punch you in the mouth, League of Legends. As we're gonna have a normal laning phase for the first time at Worlds, actually. First time today. I can say at Worlds, but it wouldn't really make sense as Dean Cato's just getting juked around. That's kind of the Yone matchup early. As Aja and Weiser are just gonna kind of hit each other as well. It's gonna be really good. Apple's gonna be even stronger because now he has the Q available. So, oh my goodness, the confidence of this man. This is a man that is possessed. Wants a deep run. Hasn't had a really strong showing at an international since. I mean, I guess his best run was on the Flash Wells when he made MSI 2018 semis. I believe it was 2018, where they lost to RNG. I mean, they did also lose to RNG in 2021, so would be his first deep run at Worlds in a long time if they made it far, is Maple retiring at the end of the season. So, Pain Gaming hoping to put together a good tournament for him. To get to the idea of a deep run, they need to get to the idea of a strong play. It's as Dinkato just going to get chunked. Really can't do anything in this early matchup. Even through the shield and with the soul and bound, he's struggling as there's a dive, but Dinkato knows something's up. I mean, Woody disappears from bot lane. The only place he can go is through the river or the jungle to mid. Whew. These are 100% win, not surprising. Yeah. They were mentioning that PSG pretty much has 100% win rates on all these champions. Is Maple just going to jump in onto Dinkato and continue the punish? But it's like the same. It's the same thing as Genji. Genji have dropped like 4 series all year. So it's the same situation of PSG like have 100% win rates on almost all of their champions. That's just because they barely lost games. They lost so few games and so few series that all their win rates look insane. Like their win rates are quite literally unsustainable. If they were to extract, like it would not be worth extrapolating these numbers to anything because these are just unrealistic numbers. If it was an LCK, maybe it would be like sustainable, but like Genji have high win rates and are in the LCK. PSG pretty much beat up on a okay region. They are good, but 100% win rate on most champs, not really. So we see why they're getting bullied right now. Just Aja considered the weakest top laner of the PCS and Vietnam, really. Maybe besides Nanoe, but Nanoe is honestly not that bad either. Did struggle in his opening series, but I can't say he was really that bad. But Aja generally considered the weakest member of the roster as well. There will be a match in the top lane on the swap. And they should be fine here as Titan going to get some damage onto Woody, but really all they're going to be able to get. That's kind of all you can ask for in this position. Betty, I don't know how you sidestep that. It didn't really matter, but it was a cool sidestep. As ulti's available for only the mid laners so far. Should be seeing the top laners grab them very soon, as that is Wiser hitting 6. That is a lot of damage. Misfortune Q is kind of nutty. It's only a Cull, a Longsword, and a Doran's Blade. That's kind of nuts. Maple with the Cull as well. A lot of CS. Dinkato can't really do anything here. Is that, yep. It's either Maple buffers it or Maple just stares at him. It's because he doesn't matter. Junja, maybe the best jungler in the play-ins. Easily one of the most experienced. And that's just going to be Drake, Grubs trade Riot. Try to stop it all you want by making the Grubs easier to get the buff on. It doesn't matter. The Drake and Grubs are inevitable. That health bar is not dropping from this angle. I think that's a bug. But they get the Drake. I was like, there's no way a Jax is doing 0 damage. He has 0 items, but he's not doing 0 damage. Even Sejuani has good Drake Siege. On PSG going to just take... I mean, Cloud Drake's not really the most valuable individual Drake. There's a reason it was called the Clown Drake for a while. That was because it was genuinely terrible, but 3 Grubs going to be really valuable compared to a singular Cloud Dragon. It is nice, of course. Obviously, you want all the numbers buffs you can get. It's like 7% out of combat movement speed, so it's not the most valuable, but it's really good for making rotations. As Junja just forced a flash here, Glacial Prison out, but that's all they're going to be able to get out of it. So, I mean, Glacial Prison for Flash, you're taking that almost every single day of this, any day of the week, you're taking that. Aja has teleport so he can match Wiser up in top lane if he needs to. As Maple actually going to tank that, but he's also not really in any danger. But it's just gonna be, yep, it's just gonna be Aja resetting and teleporting to topside. Nope, just straight up teleporting topside. He can't really get the reset. Titan has too much pressure. So it will be some drop minions. But still, just generally matching. They're playing what I would refer to as correct League of Legends. Not that it matters. Like, I call it correct League of Legends because it's kind of that. As huge trade from Maple. Dinkato gonna get the ulti out, but Maple is just really reminding everyone why this matchup is super unfun and kind of unfair. Is that ulti Poland gonna get a nice chunk onto Betty, but is it gonna matter? I mean, it can be. Yes, obviously they have follow-up potential, but there's no culling now. That's a lot of damage from Titan in this early game. Obviously, like, you can see Pain Gaming. How are they 1,000 gold down? Oh, raw farm. Betty is diffing and jungle diff because Junja has insane clear because he is playing. Oh, excuse me. Hold up. He's playing Skarner. Betty, I don't know how Betty. Huge CS lead. Like, he's insanely talented. He is very good, but this is something else. Like, again, best ADC in the region, probably by mile is. Ult not really gonna connect there as Maple's up here now. They know Maple's up here. There's really nothing Wiser could do. And flash out of Aja, Wiser has so much damage. Or Maple has so much damage. They're not going to get it, but I think Wiser's going to die here. No, he's going to be able to leap strike to safety. PSG fumbled the bag. They burned the ulti a little too early. And Maple doesn't have Buster Shot. That is Wiser just playing that like a beast. Yes, misplayed by PSG Talon, obviously, because collateral damage. That's Graves' ultimate. Equalizer goes out a little too early, but Wiser just perfectly plays that as Titan getting lit up there. Woody gonna get bubbled. Karaoke. My god, I never pronounced that right. You know that? Trying to push the wave in, but Betty has Make It Rain. Gonna be a lot of threat as Dinkato just gonna try and grab as much of the turret as he can. And will get that plating. Kato gonna get value out of that. So plate for plate, and it's quite literally dead even in mid. I mean, it's 2 gold. We had a 0 early. We did have 0 early. But pretty damn close, all things considered. As Dinkato just gonna try and pressure Maple, get the shield, but he's gonna get a decently stacked bomb on him. Take him below take him below 1k health. And the grub spawn, Betty hasn't needed to ulti yet. They have everything. They got the sting. They have the equalizer coming back up. They have the bullet time, crash down magnet storm. Everything is available. This will be buff immediately. Karaoke. There's the magnet storm, but the bullet time not coming out there, but they're still going to grab a grubby as Karaoke running away. That's already going to be Wiser picking up first blood. That's huge for Pain Gaming. They will lose out on the grubbies, but just the reluctance to pull the trigger from PSG is what Pain Gaming do. They know how to fight. They love fighting. Don't threaten them with a good time. That's a lot of ultis burned in the right way. That's every ulti burn, not even a lot. I mean, I guess, yes, that counts as a lot, but that's literally every ultimate they have burned, and it's perfect for them. They actually pull the lead back in their favor with that kill, and that is on to Wiser. That is not a bad person to pick up that first kill. Sure, it could have went to Titan, but that is not bad. Equalizer's nice, but they just can't capitalize here. Maple tries to go in, just not enough damage. The bomb goes off a little too early, and they never ulti Betty. And look at the Pain Gaming section. That is not bad. Oh, my goodness. They're getting hype. I mean, hell yeah. Props to them. Get hype. It's Worlds. It's Worlds. Every fight matters. Is Aja going to hold this wave at least? I do always pronounce Aja, Aji as well, just so no one gets mad, because Aji, Aja, Aji. I occasionally pronounce it all 3 ways. Is there's Karaoke? My god, I always forget how to pronounce it because I spent years saying karaoke, and it's not karaoke at all. This is Chemtech, so it's slightly better for Jinja. But PNG just going to be able to pull this way easier. PSG, I forgot how close these names are. PSG just going to not even do anything here. They're just going to give it over, and this is Drake stacking over to PNG. Look how fast they took it, too. Not like the actual Drake. I mean, 2 dragons. Holy cow, 28-minute Drakes. Remember that. 20-minute first dragon. We have 13. I was right. Like, yeah, most teams get it before 15 minutes. Both Drakes down. Just pain. That is true. Loud had a really... They had bot gap, though. That was pretty hype. 52nd. Damn it, it wasn't even 56th. Again, if Pain Gaming make it out of play-ins, this would be maybe the best run any individual play-ins team has had. DFM would have had if they beat RNG back in 20. They didn't. As, yep, Maple doesn't even buffer it, just actually uses it at the right time. But PSG do have to answer now, because they've given over the gold lead. I don't think Karaoke can... It's just not a very diveable angle, because Maple is Tristana, and there's 4 minions. It's not happening. They need to get Betty involved here, as that's a lot of damage onto Titan, but... Nerf BT indeed. Look at the damage. Illegal what that is. The lane economy snapshot. Top lane first blood really did flip the scales in there. It's about 1,000 in favor of PSG. We've just kind of seen this float between 1,000 damage, as that's Betty already down. Or Woody already down. Betty forced a bullet time, but it's not even going to be able to pick up anything. And that is Pain Gaming. Pulling this within 300. And another kill. This time onto Titan. I'm mixing everyone up. My goodness, I can't do anything today. As Junja's about to get caught out. They don't have the Glacial Prison. But Glacial Prison, that's Lissandra's ult. Whatever. I don't have the Frozen Flail. I always call it Frozen Flail when I can't remember. This is very dangerous already for PSG. Just throw another rock. Makeshift Talia. Drake in 2 minutes is kind of shaping up to be the next actual fight of the game. As Weiser is just going to be free to push. Maple should be safe here. As Junja is going to be here for Karaoke. Answer back a little bit. You do not have bullet time. If they can catch out somebody, it would be huge. As Junja just not going to go over. And Dinkato tried to go over that wall. Is a bit too chunky for Yone to get through. And this turret's gone. Nope, never mind. They didn't have the wave. I thought they had enough wave. Maple going to be able to reset. This bot turret should be safe, as that's going to be top tier 1 down. There's a Tristana with an overheating rumble. That is first turret in favor of PSG Talon. And are they going to be able to keep this gold lead despite being in a kill deficit? Very PSG of them to be in a kill deficit, but ahead. 2 turrets for 1. And there's no way. Yeah, Maple gonna be sensible here and not go for a second turret. And that's gonna be Smitten Grub. Smoted Grub. Smote Grub? That's a Krug. Several problems. Whatever. About 1,500 gold ahead for PSG Talon. PNG have had the fight advantage, though, and that is going to be what matters more. PSG haven't been super coordinated in their team fights or any other fights. Pain Gaming love ganging up and killing some people, and they do it a lot. But PSG still know how to play. They know how to execute their game plan a lot, but sometimes everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and that is exactly what Pain Gaming have been delivering to PSG here. Just hitting them in the face as hard as they can. Betty just gonna keep going forwards. Does not care. He says, nothing is gonna stop me. But this is a crucial fight for PSG. Drake Soul coming up. They can't just go for the Rift Herald here. They did not get that second dragon that they really could have aimed for. My goodness, words are hard. Teleported from Wiser now. As Asha's just gonna walk down. Jack's gonna get spotted out if they do decide to go for this. Junja needs to get into the pit right now. As that's the stun going down onto Junja. Karaoke just gonna wait though. He's tanky, but not that tanky. And PSG just gonna surrender. And the Pain fans, holy cow, they hype up a lot there. They are hyping their team right now because their team is outmaneuvering a team that's kind of known for their coordinate, their macro play. And this is a surprising outcome, at least. Not really the fights going in favor of PNG. That I can expect, but PSG just not looking like themselves right now. Playing a bit more just cautious. They are playing 2021. Like, look at that climb. They're playing 2021 PSG League of Legends. Bad League of Legends. Really slow League of Legends. Like, too slow. They're just pacing poorly, and PNG are just going to out-tempo them if they don't really force engage. They're still up gold, but they're onto Soul Point already, which is not what you want if you're supposed to be a macro-oriented team. I guess kills kind of matter. It matters if anyone has Hunter runes, but it does not even seem anyone on... No one on PSG even took Domination. So there are no Hunter runes on the Rift right now for them. The only one who has it is Karaoke, and I don't think Karaoke has Ultimate Hunter. Probably as Relentless, if anything, actually. Oh. PSG still have the win probability advantage, but that's not really... Again, that's math for nerds. What we use is, well, what the eye test. Because right now, the eye test is saying Pain Gaming are kind of just free to do whatever they want to PSG Talon. There's no stacks for Junja here. Yes, if they get the chance, it would be huge, but it's not looking like Junja's really been able to coordinate with the team to get a team fight going. This Junja's just gonna have to run away here. He's gonna get caught out by the Frozen Flail. There's the final, not the final breath. What? Is Junja gonna be able to flash out, but that's the Fate Sealed gone. Frozen Flail gone. Is that gonna make a difference? That for Junja's flash again is not that bad, especially when they're just going to get mid-turret off of it. I don't see Woody stopping Titan. Betty's resetting. Never. And now 2 minutes before what should be the next team fight. No one took Rift Herald. This is a really weird game. This is... I mean, PNG seem to have just... I can't really say confused. They just seem to have figured something out that the rest of the world has not, apparently, against PSG. And it's just make them play your game. Just tempo the hell out of them. Have to push. But they have not been able to catch anybody out. This ultimate is not really... Their combos are not really doing anything here. They haven't been pulling the trigger as there's the Glacial Prison. The pull only going to connect onto Karioka. As there's a huge Fate Sealed over the wall. Junja's disappeared. And now Wiser here. Flash only going to connect onto Maple, but Titan has found Woody, and PSG are crumbling. Still up 1,000, but this could be a Baron angle right now. The Pain fans are going nuts right now. Mid-tier 1 goes down. Not going to be the Baron angle. They're going crazy as Maple went for the jump. Dinkato just a little too quick there. So not going to be able to really get a ton of damage onto him, but he's going to pressure him back. But this all starts with just Junja. Again, one of the best junglers in the region, and he's just not ulting. Doesn't ult there. And then ult's way late. As Karaoke, just Betty doesn't have ulti. Betty doesn't have ult. It's an interesting angle. And the Pain fans, these guys are awesome. Armed himself walking slowly to the screen. But no, these Pain fans are awesome. They are bringing the hype. This is what I want. This is what makes me love Eastern fans so much. They just bring the hype for their team. Doesn't matter if they're the 4 seed from some bum, like from some random region or some random team that we haven't seen before. But Titan going to get a ton of damage onto Maple as Dinkato not going to be able to pick up that one. Forced to go back over the wall. But Junja's about half health right now. Soul Point. Aja has ultimate. Betty has ultimate. But can they make it work? As that's the Frozen Flood connecting onto Woody. Bullet time going to not matter. That's the soul for Pain Gaming. They need to find an answer because Pain have been running this rift. And nothing. They find nothing. Pain Gaming are actually going for an ambush. They're not even going for the Baron. They're baiting. Can they get this? They're not going to find Aja quite yet. Aja forced to Zanya's, though. It's probably his arm guard. As Junja doesn't have anything. There's the bubble connecting. He's going to be able to run. The Fate Seal's going to seal his fate indeed, though. Dinkato picks up his, I believe, 2nd kill of the game. And they've evened out the golden. This should actually be the Baron angle. I thought it was going to be earlier, but no, this should be the Baron angle. As they're going to keep going. There's the stun onto Dinkato. And that's going to be Dinkato gone. Shut down for Aja, their first kill of the tournament. And now Weiser, there's the ulti going out. But that's the Buster shot coming in and connecting. But that's going to just be Woody losing it instead. It's not the fight PSG thought it was going to be. They don't have anything. Aja forced to flash, and it's not going to matter. Titan on a killing spree. They are taking this fight to the Talon, and they are crushing it. This team is killing it right now. PSG just cannot solve the puzzle. Pain Gaming putting up one hell of a fight in game number 1. 3-0-4 on Titan. This guy we've seen a couple times on the international stage is just balling out right now. Look at that. Is this going to be 3rd item? I don't know. He's got the base. 3-item Lucian. 3-0-4. This is going to be a big deal for Pain Gaming to just keep alive. Protect the puppy. This is the Uzi strat of a lifetime. Is Junja going to be able to escape? Weiser going to get this turret, though, in the top lane. They need to execute, and Junja, speaking of execute, is just going to be forced to flash. Not even going to get anything out of it yet. And there's the execution. Weiser on a killing spree, and Pain Gaming punish PSG again. And this is huge. 26-minute Baron. There's no angle for a steal. There's no way they get this. The crash down not going to be enough. No chance. That's Aja's ulti down. And they're going to have to look for Karaoke here. But Karaoke jumped away. This is... They're waiting. As Betty is looking... But Karaoke gonna get the engagement. There's the crash down, the Magnet Sword, the Fate Sealed. Betty, bullet time, finds Dinkato, but Karaoke just waiting. He's gonna smite it. He's gonna get it. Weiser takes out Maple. And now Weiser on the back line gonna be huge. That's 2 for Titan, 3 for Titan. This guy's a monster. And he's taking out PSG by himself. 606 on the Lucian now. And PSG thought they found it. This is just a stare down. The standoff of a lifetime, but they get Betty. The bullet time's just not going to be enough here. Weiser teleporting into the back line. and there's nothing PSG can do. The smite, look at how low Carioca is. And then Titan, monster on the Rift. And they're going to get an inhib out of that too. Oof. And the Pain fans, let's go. Get out your seats. This is insane. Look at this is what I love about Pain Gang. They wear their emotions. And when they get excited, they jump out their seat. They are not afraid to hype up their fans, to get out their seats. Like, it is awesome watching these guys play. They are a team that is unafraid to showboat when they're doing well. They are just afraid. They are unafraid to just try and put you in the dirt. And look at that win prob. PSG have been surrendering so much this game, and Pain Gaming, eventually they're just going to punish them for it. And now 5,000 gold in the lead, almost entirely off of the Baron buff, but they are 12 kills to 2. Drake Soul at their side. Baron buff, and Elder Dragon is going to be up at the same time the Baron expires, so PNG can just keep this pressure up until Elder spawns. This is dangerous for PSG, and they have found nothing. Titan, a little too aggressive, but there's no instant CC. There's no snap CC. Pain are going to be able to get out of there alive. As Titan just... Chuncha. Look at that health bar. There goes the frozen flail. The bullet time finds absolutely no one. Junja going to be able to survive. But this is just a masterclass on how to do anything you want on the Rift from PNG. Just hit your opponent as hard as you can over and over. They are not afraid to body this team. They are not afraid to play their style, and this is what I was talking about earlier. PNG and most of Brazil just unafraid to play how they want to, and they say, we're going to play how we want. You better figure out how to beat it or beat us just before it gets ahead. Oh no, Woody. What is going to happen? The last Drake fight, or the last objective fight, was unbelievable. And PNG just going to be able to start this Pain Gaming. What can they do? Or what are PSG going to be able to do? Because Pain don't care. They're free to do whatever is theirs. Then engage on to Junja, and the ult finds nobody. Titan, 7 kills. He's going to get this one onto Aja. No, he isn't. Wiser going to steal it, but it's a 2 for nothing. They're not even going to need the Elder Drake. Under the tower is a bold play. Like, he's strong, but there's the rest of the team. 6-0 on the Jax. Why is it grayed out? It's weird. Carioca. Maple gets smashed in Kato. Oh my goodness. Again, they survive on 1 health. This team, it's not even a competition at the end of the day, because Pain are rolling and inflicting the pain onto PSG Talon. The bullet time, it's not gonna matter. There's a kill for Betty, but it's way too damn late. And Pain Gaming are on the verge of facing Mad Lions for the first spot in the Swiss stage. What the hell? What a game from Brazil's champions. They are showing out and reminding the world that they are here to play. Wow. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Dracos. You're hoping that is a comfort game from Pain and that they're going to punch back, but holy, if that wasn't at least entertaining, because Pain Gaming, fearless. Like, they are fearless, they are ferocious, they are willing to do whatever they need to do in game to take you out, and they showed it there, coordinating picks and fights beautifully. Oh my god, that was nuts. That was crazy. And make them believe. Pain Gaming are making the Heretics believe, because they are 1 win away from a qualifying match for the Swiss stage. And we'll see if they can close it out in game 2, or if PSG will send us to the ultimate decider. And welcome back, a Smash Mouth game in game number 1 for PNG, for Pain Gaming. Call them by their name, goddamn. Pain Gaming, they crush PSG in 30 minutes, if even. It might have been like 29. And the patience of PSG comes back to haunt them in game number 1. Pain Gaming just roll them over, and they're not going to change the ban strats, it seems. Still giving those champions over death sentences, even if it is not what you want to say, after just kind of giving over a lot of really comfortable picks. But it is really easy to also just say, can't give the Ashe, can't give the Maokai. Still going to take away the Sejuani here. Junjuna not angling himself to go to the Maokai is interesting. But blue side, the option here, and Pain Gaming, what do they have cooking up? Because I don't think they're getting as clean of a matchup ever again. That was insanity. I just cannot see it happening. Aurora's still taken away. Yeah, fair. I don't want to see it either. Also, because PSG were the first team to play. That's a fun fact that I didn't get to mention because I haven't done any streaming. They're going to take Skarner again. They really like the Skarner, even though it was really not that great last game. They love Skarner. It's one of their most comfortable picks. But PSG were the first team to get their hands on Aurora in the PCS playoffs. They played it the first day it was legal, and they crushed their opponent. I think it was DFM. They thought they can take PSG's Aurora. No one was able to take Aurora. Aurora was menacing. Is this going to be Dinkato or Weiser on the Yone again? And this is like the AP jungler this patch. No doubt in my mind. No, they're going to take the Rumble for Weiser, though. This is going to be Dinkato back on the Yone. This dude was a late game terrorist. I mean, Titan was a full game terrorist. This guy bruised. And is this going to be the iconic pick? Like, is this going to be the pick? I would not hate it. It's going to be... It's going to be Maples Akali. Maple. And Aja on the Gnar. Going to give him a bigger engage threat. Didn't really get anything done on the Rumble. A few fumbles on the Rumble. There you go. Fumble on the Rumble. That's the new sports ball skin. Anyways, fumbled a couple of the ultimates early, and that... I mean, fumbled the one ultimate early, and that cost them that... pretty much that entire play. Maple didn't really have a chance to do anything, and Aja just never caught back up. And they did not ban the Vi this time. They had to surrender the Vi ban to get rid of the Syndra, actually. And they're gonna get Karaoke on the Vi. I don't know if this is most played. I think it's still Sejuani his most played, just because Vi's been banned against him so many times. And that's gonna be Varus taken away from Betty. Again, Betty is just a problem. They take away his two most played champions. They're not giving Titan. They're not giving Titan his Lucian. No. Bro just went like 7-0-6 on the Lucian. You're not getting it back. No, I just love watching teams do that. Like the no. Very silly. Good thing you don't have to burn a ban on Nami. Because you're not picking Nami without it. Rakan taken away from Woody. That is kind of what I knew him. I knew him as a Woody, as a Rakan as a Woody. It's like his thing. It's the same thing with Lahens back when he was on, I guess, when he was on HLE, he was kind of a Rakan merchant. That was all he really did. He was Rakan specialist. He had a damn good Rakan, don't get me wrong, but... And now Atlas starts taken away from Kuri, and that's an insta-lock Ezreal. Titan's really good at League of Legends, so you can't really flush him out ever, and they're just going to go back to it. Titan, as long as Titan's hitting those Qs, he's very good at hitting those Qs. I'll give you a hint, he's very good at hitting Qs. And remember when MF was a troll pick back when, or was a niche freak, like, confusing pick when Gorilla picked it? Jhin for Betty. That's gonna be nice. Betty is just good at everything. He's like Titan, just very good at League of Legends. It's kind of all you need to be to play ADC right now. He's just very good at League of Legends. And the Rel did not have anything go in their favor, but this could work still. And the Bard Hover, it's not going to happen, but the Bard Hover as Woody hovered it in game number 1. I can't imagine they go for the Bard. I wouldn't know why they would go for it. Not very common. Is this a good Braum angle? It's always a good Braum angle. There's a Jhin. It's a good Braum angle. This still works really well. So Kuri and Titan gonna have some really nice synergy. I think Pain Gaming still, I mean, obviously, they had a good, I said in game 1, they had a really good comp. I liked it. I don't know if it was, I wouldn't call it meta. I wouldn't call a Yone Jax top mid ever meta, but it was very PNG, and that's what I care about. It was very Pain Gaming. They were playing their game. What's the point of playing if you're not going to play your game? Like, they clearly knew what they were doing. I'm going to... Oh, no, I still need it. Damn it. That's brutal. But 2-0, I mean, maybe, who knows? I wouldn't... Oh. I just don't not see it happening. I mean, I don't know if a 2-0 is what's on the docket, but it would not be surprising. Let's put it that way. It would not be surprising for a 2... I mean, Pain Gaming kind of have the same comp. Why did I say it like that? They have a very similar comp to what they had in game number 1, and it would not be surprising to me if they execute this in game number 2 the same, like, a similar execution. PSG, on the other hand, very different comp. Maple's much more aggressive. He was already aggressive on the Tristana, but now he's really just allowed to fly into the enemy and kill people, if he really can. Aja going to be a tanky player. Betty kind of playing the same thing, but more backloaded damage when didn't really have a good MF angle when Junja was not setting him up. Why is Nar so close to his picture? Look how far everyone else is. Look how far everyone else is on their pictures. And then just Nar can't even see his face. You could barely see anyone else's faces because they're so small. Then you just see Nar. He's just up there in the thing. Like, he's up there. Okay, so aggressive positioning, no lane swap still. But this is still PSG need to figure out what they're gonna do. They just kind of looked like they were panic. They were panicking that entire game, and it was not working. So, Gunnar. Is it gonna happen? I don't think so. We'll see. This is already like a lot. Not a lot of people were expecting this, but but it's really concerning when they were not even able to get to their vision. Like, that was a super late first blood, which is usually very uncommon in CBLOL. Like, that was a, what, 10-minute first blood? Never happens. It's not really a detriment to CBLOL. Like, they just like playing aggressive. PSG, the strategic ones. And early lane means, or early aggression and early level advantage means that Titan's able to just kind of play how he wants with the safety of the arcane shift. And now it is just time to sit and farm. I wouldn't say this for most teams, but it's PSG. Sitting and farming is their thing. That's a lot of damage on both sides. That is a lot of damage still coming from Maple, but Kato just check something out. No Raptors, which means he is up to his top side now. Raptors the last camp you take is the Krugs are so far away. It's the clear that it's illogical to go anywhere else. And Weiser's pushed in, so he doesn't have to really worry. I don't see a dive coming in on with a null. Kato kind of just forced to back off. This is why Maple picked this, obviously. He was really confident with the ability to answer it if Ping Gaming wanted to slam it again. As there goes Junja, and that's going to connect. I don't think it's going to be first blood here, but that's a lot of damage onto Weiser. That's going to get his null. Why does he have a null magic or nullifying orb? That's easy. For Flash Force out onto Weiser. PNG are winning. Or PSG winning this lane state in topside at least. Oh my goodness, Dinkato is just getting bullied. This is kind of why Maple was so excited to get this pit, like so quick to say, get me a Kotley. And he just hovered it. I don't think Aja's going to go for anything crazy here. Unless Weiser really overextends because there's no angle. Yeah, Weiser just going to shield in the run. There's no angle where anyone should go for that. As they're going to jump in here. That's a nice trade again onto Dinkato. But the shove not going to come through. That was kind of the only goal they had. Getting Maple. Having Woody come up here was to get Maple out of this lane. Ooh, 11 CS ahead. This is only going to get him 7. So he's about a half wave ahead right now. Betty just clearing board. So where is the angle here? Is Weiser going to get some vision onto the grub at blue? Is Aja's going to try and stop him for as long as he can. Betty going to get stunned by Woody. Woody going to be able to jump away. Is Titan. No arcane shift available. It's a lot of damage onto Titan, but Betty's still trading pretty equally back. Betty still has the shield available. Titan still has cleanse if he actually needs it. They are, yeah. I love hearing them say weird, not even weird things, just things they weren't expecting, like Braum Ezreal to be a hyper aggressive lane. No. Again, Brazil likes being hyper aggressive. They can play slow. That's way more fun. Like, come on, it's way more fun to be fast and play hyper aggressive. Way more fun. Guys, it's gonna be another Drake trade. Chemtech goes down. I believe the second of the tournament. Second one of the day. Pick'ems are going crazy. Dinkato is just not having fun. Dinkato is not allowed to have fun right now. Really it. He's trying. Weiser doesn't spot out Junja, and now he's gonna get caught out by Junja. As the ulti comes out, they're gonna try and just get the overheat. The equalizer goes down, but I think it's too much. But Aja doesn't have the health. There's the Gnar going out, but I think it's too much Carioca. But there's the final blow onto Weiser. Carioca gonna flash forwards. The wallop is enough, and Junja with a double kill. And there's the PSG we were waiting for. How does Aja survive that? How on earth? What did the Rumble die to? Did he die to the Quaking? He had to die to Quaking. No, the Quaking. Oh, if that hit Dinkato dies. That would have been ERQR. It would have been very over for Dinkato there. Good dodge on it. Okay. Junja, great positioning here. Picks up the rock, jukes out Weiser, and then Weiser's stuck. Even though he lays down the ulti, he's stuck. Kuri gonna be able to dodge away. Doesn't hit the Talon with it either, but it doesn't really make a difference. As should be Betty getting a solo plate. Nice damage there as well, but Betty just here to get the plating and walk away in base. 80 CS to 59. This is just, yep, the pain. Once again, Dinkato just playing for like him. Oh, this guy's dead. Ooh, Maple calling a bit too early on that E. Maybe also it would not have been smart to follow Dinkato there. So fine. Maple gonna get struck by the Q. It's just gonna be a problem here. I already know. He's good at this stuff. They're gonna land the stun to Kuri, but that's really it. Dinkato just gonna stall unbound, get some CS. Kato positioning. He has the fate sealed. They're just gonna determine it's not gonna be worth it. PSG, they got it. They don't get the blue buff as Titan has been locked down. There's the jump away, the cleanse forced. I don't think Betty has the mana to open the curtains, even if he wanted to. Even if he could open the curtains, I should say, because he can't. Sorry. Yawning on... As, ooh, 5-point, barely gonna get it. And this is rough already. Almost 2,000 gold behind off of a bunch of CS diffs and 2 kills. That double kill in top lane is going to be the focal point of this early game because it was the key fight that got Junja so far ahead. Gold. It's going to be pretty much the only kills Junja's seeing this game. And it's what gets him a Heartsteel versus components right now. Oh. 2 games in a row. They're just going to put Dinkato in the unfun lanes, and it is working. Maple is so ahead. Currently, is Junja going to land the rock? I don't think any quaking is happening. But... oh, again, the rock throwable. They need to get these grubs, all 3 of them, because PSG get these grubs, the turrets are going to do some despawning. That's going to be 1. Takes PSG 1 right now. As that's going to be Junja locking it down. They're going to be able to get the triples. Ding! As, ooh, Titan's ulti going to do a lot, and Weiser going to pick up 1. Woody, Betty goes down, but Woody just not going to drop. He's still alive. Asha has no ability to go mega, but Maple's here. The curtain's open, but instantly canceled. Double for Maple. Dinkato gonna flash to grab 1. Maple, does he have a 3rd in him? Because Betty doesn't have anything left in the tank. The rooting shot not gonna connect. And a grub down. Holy cow. What on earth? So many things go down, but it's 1 grub and 3 kills to 2 there. But now Maple double kill, but Dinkato also getting those kills means he's able to get the Hex Drinker and start building actual items. Great Glacial Fissure. Woody and Junja kind of engaging on different notes, but this is pretty dangerous. But then Woody is just surviving for so long, and then Asha's here, and Maple just is a problem for Pain Gaming. My goodness. That shield does save Dinkato's life there. And that rooting shot not connecting is going to be huge. And there is Pain Gaming actually grabbing the Drake in the meantime. So it's going to be a Cloud Soul. 13 international appearances. He first played in 2013 and 130 international. That was his first international. It was also his first season. 12 years ago he debuted. It's nuts. He's gonna at least have 134 at the end of it. Maybe he extends it, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? But it's gonna be 5 grubs to 1, just like game 1, and 2 Drakes. Just like game 1, huge stun from Aja. Wallop, auto, the rocks. Are they gonna be enough? The rock blocked. But he's just gonna clear this wave out immediately. Titan not gonna really be able to do much. Aja knows someone's probably going down because there's no way there's not an answer. They don't know which bush he's in. As Aja, with what he's showing, that's a forced disengage. So there's the stun on Dekuri. I don't think it's gonna lead to anything. Betty somehow dodges that mystic shot. Dude, I don't know how this guy does these things. Dinkato just getting chased by Junja, and this won't... Could be a turret for Maple, actually. I don't see it 100% happening, but the threat... They know Junja's resetting, and they just don't have the... No, they don't even have anything. This is just wave. Not going to be stopped. Ow, that hurt, and I'm sorry how loud that was. Maple gonna get the first turret down. 3,000 gold lead now for PSG Talon. Pain Gaming still in this game. Still very in this game. There's the lockdown onto Carioca. Aja doesn't have Mega, unfortunately, for PSG. That would have been pretty much the only thing that would have made that play even more doable, is having the ulti available for Aja to get that engage. Not gonna happen, but Wiser with the stun, the crash down in the Magnet Storm. There's the follow-up and the sting as well. Aja picks up his second kill of the game, and it's a 4,000 gold lead for PSG Talon now. Pain Gaming can't find the tempo they had before. The breakneck speed they put up in the second half of that game just made PSG play their game. They angled it how they wanted, but currently PSG not yielding. Unlike game 1, they are just not giving them what they want. It's going to be Drake in 2 minutes, so nothing really coming of it as Betty disrespects it. Ooh, just going to be short, though. Carioca, I don't think wanted to go for the flash. If the Q connected, if Betty overextended, yeah, that's great, but I don't think it's worth burning Q flash there. For Carioca, as there's the jump onto Kuru, dragged into the team, shattering strike, crash down. The ulti not going to connect, and Woody going to pick up the kill there with the ignite. Or not even with the ignite. I don't know what killed him. As Maple's here. Maple not going to connect anything, and I think that's for the better. As Curtain Call doesn't do anything. Teleport out of Aja. They were just ready for things to go south. Aja was already going to base anyways, so he had no real reason to not TP, because he's going to be bot side. Because Maple has TP already, Aja can afford to burn that TP and play bot side. This is just painful. Oop, there he goes. He's back. I bumped him. This is just 5,000. How? Oops. That was not supposed to happen. 5,000 gold, and Betty has like none of it. It is the other 3 lanes that are kind of just ahead. Maple is the centerpiece of this team comp still. Why is Nar so close to the god? It's because he switches, isn't it? That has to be a pain in the neck. Anyways. Junja just gonna run around in a circle. He's gonna keep picking up rocks. He's gonna keep making people quake. As Dinkato's dead here. Nice cancel, actually, on Maple's ultimate with the Q3 into the ulti. So able to escape. Importantly, did not hit that ultimate. Very important. He can't win that fight. If that ulti hits, it's over. But there's the interesting interaction. 3-man Gnar ulti means it's all over for Pain Gaming before it's even begun. Dinkato teleports in. He's got nothing. Maple's taking out Kuri, finishing him off. And that's going to be the first dragon for PSG. And that is really big for them, actually. Maple going to just be able to jump away. They're going to continue to just apply the pressure. Man, this Drake shot's so cool. This camera angle, really nice. Now PSG actually playing their game 7,000 gold ahead, and it's not just off of a bunch of CS. They have a lot of kills. PSG, not afraid of low kill games, but this is just a lot less. Where are Pain supposed to play now? Because PSG just have kind of suffocated them out of everywhere. They instantly put Dinkato behind because of his matchup. So even though he already has Bork, like I say already, he has a delayed Bork. Even with delayed Bork, he's still behind because he has to get the Hex Drinker. He just has to. He has to respect the fact that he needs a Hex Drinker because Tenacity Boots, the treads, way too valuable on Yone. You really want those. Or not the treads. You can't afford the treads. You need the Berserker Greaves because your attack speed scales Q. Like your Q scaling attack speed pretty much means you need that item. And now Aja ahead already has a... I mean, I can't say already. We're 20 minutes in, but that Triforce doing a lot of work. And then I think Junja actually got early Heartsteel as well because of the double kill. And now Maple's 2 items. Maple already 2 items. 3-0, 133 CS. Almost just around 1,500 gold ahead of Dinkato in this one. 2,000 gold lead for Aja. 42 CS ahead. 3-1-5 on the Gnar. As Kareem Woody, supportal combat is not going very far. As that's going to be the Soul Unbound. Just burned away immediately. Can Kuri hit this? Or not Kuri. Can Karaoke hit the smite? He gets it, actually. And the Crash Down Magnet Storm. But Karaoke can't run away. And now Junja forced to run. Or not Junja, sorry. Junja getting the kill. Maple just able to get off the equalizer with his ultimate. And picks up a kill while he's at it. And now PSG. No, you can't Baron here. You have Aja. That is your Baron damage. Akali famously bad at taking objectives because her passive does not proc on them. Yeah, no, Betty's not getting. Oh my goodness. This is the PSG we were expecting. This is the one we got. I mean, they get the buff, but they just can't really do anything. The focus onto Junja is not really that great. This ulti from Weiser, very good. The line in the sand always works really well for equalizers. Pretty much saying, doesn't matter where you are. If you cross this line, you're dying. Even though Weiser doesn't have a ton of damage because he is so he is so undervalued in gold, so behind gold wise, doesn't matter. That ulti already has an intentionally high base scaling because it is a super ult. Oof, they can contemplate it. Contemplate the orb. But they're not going to go for it. This turn very low. This is going to be gone. Betty has the ammo for it. And that's going to be the tier 2 gone. The first one of the game taken down. And this tiny box. Yup. Oh, good job, chat. I mean, this is just systemically removing the objective. It's like they play what I call quotation marks correct League of Legends, because it's not really like there's no correct way to play League of Legends anymore, especially in the pro scene where it also is meta dependent, but pretty much PSG always want to play whatever is they consider correct League of Legends, where they do very traditional side lane 1-4 splits, 4-1 splits. I mean, obviously every team does that, but it's like they kind of live to that to a T. As Huh? Oh, 500 gold bounty. That looks weird. As there's the ulti onto Weiser. Weiser not going to be able to get out. He's going to drop the equalizer onto absolutely nobody. And Junja going to pick up that one. 4-1-8 now on this, on the Skarner, on this mighty Scorpion. 100% KP so far in this game. Karaoke contemplating going in, contemplating not going in at all. As jumping in, onto Dinkato, that's half his health already gone. He's forced ulti away to safety, and I think they're going to be able to tank it. How is this barely missing? He missed wide on both. Kuri going to tank that one because, honestly, it's Kuri. Who cares? It's Braum. Is Junja going to... That's only a shield. That barely took out his shield. Jesus Christ, Skarner's shielding is crazy. That was a big chunk, as well as Aja. Are they going to go for the ultimate here? They will go for the ulti. And the stun connecting. They're waiting for it. The Gnar is huge, and they're just going to throw him away. But there's Maple going in. 1 for Maple, 1 for Betty, 2 for Maple. It's Weiser, and it's a pair of double kills. And PSG Talon. Oh, my goodness, Maple. Maple and Betty. 2 of the best damage carries in the world still. As Titan forced to flash, and PSG Talon will not go quietly into that. Good night. Can Titan fend this off? He has shredded the wave enough to justify it. So the question is, what's the play here? They have Baron. They still don't have Baron damage. Even though Jhin is only 2 items. And only one of those gives him damage. Static. Like 55. 12,000 gold lead. How is it going to, like, how are they going to hold it? That's the question. Because PSG have gotten the game state they wanted. They need to capitalize now. You can't really just say, we're ahead. Just stay ahead, because you got to do something. Now the highest KP 14 for Woody, as there's Junja just jumping in. It's the same exact spot. Kuri locked down. The sting, you can't run from it. As Kuri will fall. Betty on a killing spree. Woody just walking away. Swag pants. Oh, that's a huge E flash from Junja onto Titan. But is it going to matter? The equalizer goes down, denying them entry to the jungle. Or exit from the jungle there, as they're trying to just jump in. Weiser survives on 1 health. Aja on a killing spree now, though, as they take out Karaoke. It's another 2-for-0 in Pain Gaming's jungle. That's a 400 bounty for Betty. 450 for Aja. These guys have not died in so damn long. This is so slow, this Baron. 12k gold ahead, can't Baron for their lives. Their best one is Gnar. Oh my god. Yeah, you could see why, even after their previous fight win, where they literally only left Titan alive, they could not get the Baron. That is why. Jhin is one of the, I mean, he has high damage, but it's so, like, it's so slow to go out that he has one of the worst sieges in the game, actually. If you don't have, he's a good supplementary, as I don't think Maple solos that. With Woody, maybe, but PSG Talon, this is more of the angle we were seeing. Denying the ability to play the game for 2 of their members is kind of just insane. Weiser and Karaoke just not allowed to play. Titan is still very good, but it just doesn't matter. Like, Titan just can't play the game at this point because he has no one. As Titan forced to jump away with the arcane shift there. Woody just gonna get through shield. Like, he's 0-1. He's done nothing this game. Comparatively. He has not gotten to be involved in this game at all. Maple contemplating going in with the re-engaged shuriken, as that's Karaoke. Nice engage. The fate sealed is huge, but it's only going to get down 1. It's going to cost him 2, though. And now Maple's free to do as he pleases, as that's going to be 1 for Maple. Junja's just up in there doing whatever he wants. Titan not going to be able to get it. It's a double kill for Junja. They couldn't even get the squishy Akali down. And this might be GG in game number 2. We may be looking at a 3rd one, as it's just Kuri for 20 seconds. And Karaoke, no flash, no engage, or no ultimate for any big engages. It's Kuri against the world. Can a Braum save a season? It's not saving the season, but it's PSG for now saving theirs. We're going to a deciding game 3. Pain Gaming smash game 1. And PSG return the favor in game number 2. We are tied. And even in defeat, the Pain fans cheering on their team. They know they got this in the bag. They think they can do it. Because win, lose, they can just, they believe in their team. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy. C9 subreddit trolling. But Maple, the man of the hour, saves the game. Yes, all of PSG played it incredibly. Aja having an incredible game, which is not a common sentence all the time. But Maple, the man of the hour, calls his number, and he gets exactly what he wants done. And we're going to game 3. Who will face Mad for a shot at the Swiss stage? Will it be PSG Talon, or will Pain Gaming complete the near 40 spot upset and send PSG to the lower bracket? I will see you for game number 3. And we are back. It is 1-1 in the final game of day number 1. World's Play-ins 2024. PSG PNG tied at 1. I haven't even said hi. Welcome to the kimchicast. I'm Box Kimchi. You don't really care. No one is watching this because, yeah, why would you? But PSG show what they can do, because they have a lot of expectation lying on them. They're one of the teams that are really considered shoo-ins. Like, they are one of the teams people are confident in saying will go to the Swiss stage. People are saying they are the strongest team in the play-in stage over the Mad Lions, which I agree they are better than the Mad Lions. They did not show it in game number 1, but people are saying they're better than the Thieves. They're better than the Mad Lions. And they need to prove it because they were in a dogfight with Pain Gaming. Both teams blew the other out in their wins, and it's going to come down to who has the better execution, because Pain Gaming got to play their game in game number 1, and PSG got to play their game in game number 2, and both have done very poorly at denying the other their style at one point or another. PSG completely allowing Pain Gaming to ambush and team fight as they pleased in game number 1, and Pain Gaming allowing PSG to set up their perfect plays, their lane advantages, and their dive angles. Oh, my hair in my mouth. Pleasant. Imagine. But what will we see? Skarner finally taken away from Junja. Honestly, I don't even blame them for banning the Skarner. I also don't blame them if they didn't ban the Skarner. That thing was terrible in game number 1. Like, holy cow. Also, that's the first win at Worlds for Skarner in I would have to guess in a long time. It's been a long time since Skarner's been really good. Aurora taken away, you can't really afford to give that champion over. Ziggs still taken away because you can't really, you can B1 Ziggs. You don't want to B1 Ziggs, but you can B1 Ziggs. It's not always the best option, but you can. Is a lot of teams seem to do. Also, some teams just don't want to see it at all. Oof. Jarvan taken away from Junja. Didn't even get to play it. But it's another power pick that Junja gets. Just a threat. Problem. Karaoke is still not going to be allowed to go on that Sejuani, so we're going to have to start digging things out of the bag. The Maokai is available for Karaoke, is the thing. That is the angle. And they're going to leave Ash up, actually, so Titan can have a huge power pick here. Like, this is a massive pick, but it's going to be Dinkato on a, I guess, not signature, but one of his better champions, the Syndra, in the hands of Dinkato now. And is this going to be Aja on Yone? Would not love this pick. If Maple goes back to the Akali, it would be a bet. Would it be a gamble? I don't see Aja playing this, is the thing. just confident pick. This is going to be just Wukong coming out, speak of. 4 junglers taken. This is also going to be Karaoke's Lee Sin. Oh my god, we're just going all out. This is going to be just all out. Empty the tanks here. Empty the notebooks. And nope, this is going to be Talon on the Ashe most likely because they left it open. They had to. They were afraid of the they were afraid of Junjin not winning the draft prio for the Maokai. They were just assuming Karaoke gonna insta-lock that thing. And that's going to be Karaoke on the Lee Sin anyways. But now they have to face the Ashe. The list is available, but Ashe, a massive counter. They just cannot afford to have it. They're just gonna go back to the Jhin here. And Betty showing off on the Jhin. Wasn't the star of the show, but was of course, an integral part of it. Those rooting shots, oh my goodness. Those W's from way downtown were huge. It's not Captive Audience. Captive Audience is his E. I cannot remember the name of his freaking W. It might just be Bind Shot. It's probably not, though, because they love Jhin. Entering second rotation, top laners need to be executed here. Tops and supports, get them out. They need to find an angle to get them to a win. Ashe Braum is illegal. That thing is disgusting. You usually deny it by just getting rid of the Ashe, but they didn't really have an angle where they felt they could, it seems. Want to get rid of that Aurora because if you give over Aurora, feel. Poppy taken away. Poppy going to be taken away from Woody, as that would just get rid of the Lee Sin almost entirely, and a potential Cassante blind if they do want Cassante in this top side. Oh, it would absolutely kill PSG. I don't know if it's worth. Yeah. Jack's going to be a good ban. I mean, Weiser, yeah, just killed the game 1 with it, but oh my god, just seeing the Jax rework and the Skarner rework reminds, or not even reworks, but the visual updates just remind, well, Skarner's was a rework, but Jax's visual update just reminds me Teemo's getting one. It's weird. I don't like it. I mean, I love it, but it looks weird to me because it always look weird. Bard, what? Bard? I mean, that is actually not bad. You could just pretty much save anybody from an Ashe ulti or a Syndra ult, and the ability to stop Lee Sin's engage entirely with a single ability is pretty good. And also the insane flank angles, which is super dangerous. Like, super dangerous against a Wukong Akali comp. This is going to be Kuri on the Alistar most likely, even though it doesn't really... Like, it's still... I always think Leon is better because Leon is absolutely broken. And more people need to catch on to that fact that Leon is just criminal. Like 5 seconds of CC or something like that in her base combo is kind of gross. Kuri plays a lot of Alistar. I feel like a lot of supports play a lot of Alistar, though. It's like saying you play a lot of Aatrox in 2021. Or 2022. Everybody played a lot of Aatrox and Sejuani in 2020. This would be a nuts Malphite angle because it would suck. It would be an insane Malphite angle because it would do absolutely nothing. What, if a dank Jhin? Doesn't matter. Gonna be the Gnar for Weiser, not the Kuri. Gnar is really good because, yeah, as they were saying, you could just kind of send your Alistar in or send it onto one person who's stunned by Ashe and just kill everyone. It's kind of gross. And Vayne? Okay, Asha. We'll see what happens because this is a pick of all time. Usually into the Cassante you see this thing, and we've seen it bully Cassante. If you watched America's Challengers, Vayne tortured some top lane players because absurd. I mean, Vayne's really good into it. Obviously, it's kind of her thing. Oh, you can hear that. That's a loud button. Sorry. fan turning off. I cycle it a lot. But what is... This is a screw you Maple comp. Like, they want access to Betty and Maple, and this is a really good team to actually do. Anyone who steps too far forwards, they probably are wiped off the face of the earth with the Ash Arrow into the Alistar or the Gnar or anything. Like, literally all these champions pair so well together. Who re-engages? Carioca can follow on with Wiser. If Carioca gets a nice insect, that's Query jumping on. Like, it's so good for them. They can prepare this. Or if they can prepare this perfectly, and Gaming are in a really good position to win this series. This comp, I love this draft from. Like, PSG, I think they have a good comp. I don't hate it. I don't love the Vayne. It's an interesting draft. But Pain Gaming have a really good draft right here. I love this thing. Like, pretty safe mid lane and just so many combinations. It's going to be almost impossible to predict how Pain are going to engage this. And this is really the power of the blue side, because PSG couldn't afford to get rid of the Ashe. They couldn't really afford to get rid of the Ashe. Pain Gaming have mostly been banning the Syndra on blue side, or on the red side. They couldn't give up Maokai, and they need to get rid of Aurora because Pain Gaming pretty much were banned Aurora both games. So, like, moving over to the blue side was just such a power move for Pain Gaming to get champs that they wanted, because PSG had to ban out junglers and Aurora. Maple, let's see what he can cook up, because anything's possible. Dinkato should be able to get first strike procs here. 23 gold, I think. It's possible. Swamp wouldn't really make a difference here. I mean, unless they think that Aja matches up better than Betty here, which I don't think. I think Betty has a much... This grasp thing. Sorry, what? Goodness. Kind of. Now with the silver bolts available, Wiser's in pain. Wiser hates legal. Talon, gonna dodge these. Oh my goodness. Dodging these root shots, man. Been doing this all day. Oh my god. This is mean. This is bullying. Like, Wiser. Justice for Wiser. This is a huge engage. If Carioca can hit this, there's Curry getting in. Betty gonna be able to cleanse, but I think it's gonna be Titan with first blood here. No doubt in my mind. It's close, but it's not enough. Pain Gaming take the early fight to PSG as Carioca going to get re-engaged on. I don't see them winning this outright, as there's the re-engage is huge, but there's Betty hitting a nice re-engage. Junja gonna pick up the kill into Carioca. Kuri gonna be able to flash away. Gonna have to flash. And a great answer there by PSG Talon. Holy cow. Maple gonna have to trade back somehow, but just not gonna be able to. That was a great engage from, I mean, great responses from both sides, or great plays from both sides. Just Corey instantly locking down Betty. Carioca, and good cleanse, but it's just not going to matter. Betty just doesn't have the damage yet. He's an early game Jhin. Like, you can see how close he gets, but he just doesn't have it. And then Woody just going to keep Carioca interested, and they're not expecting it. So by the time they see Junja, they just have to accept it. And then they think they can get him because they really can. As Jojo forced to gonna flash follow, and he's tanking the turret, so Maple gets out of there with a kill. And that is how important this jungle has been. Junja is making a difference on the Rift right now. And PSG 700 gold ahead because of their jungle. Absolutely huge. As Betty engaging onto Kuri. Kuri gonna take a ton there. Betty, rooting shot, 4-shot. It's dangerous. PTA Jin. I remember someone ran that. That was garbage. No, I saw the PTA and I was like, oh, PTA Jin. No, I think Ash. You have 4 bullets. You'll get like 2 autos before. You get 1 auto to proc it, and then 1 after. They'll spot out Junja because they really thought that he was going to path down. It's just, like, they really thought he was not going to contest them. That's a lie. Aja is bullying. This is so mean. Like, oh my goodness. This is absurd. I mean, even, like, pretty close to even. Yeah. But at what cost for Aja? At what cost, Wiser? This is misery. Jeez. He's just gonna base, and he's gonna be a bum about it. Like, so mean. Maple sidesteps. This guy's been very confident today. There is no way around it. This Maple guy has been so confident. But there's Kuri getting the combo. And he's just... Maple's just gonna re-engage. Oh my goodness. Maple just full sends it because he knows there's no unleashed power. Wow. I don't think that's gonna mean that they get control here because they have Titan up here, and Titan is a I mean, Betty's here too, but he's facing Wiser. There should be 3 grubs, 2 Pain Gaming. This better be entertaining because the last 2 games, I mean, game 1 and game 2, entertaining for different reasons. They've just kind of been blowing each other out. I want a contestable game that's entertaining. Aja gonna get a plating, force out the teleport of Wiser. And again, so zoomed in. Get Nar's picture. So there we go. They fixed it. I have no clue what Nar Mega Flash Art looks like. Anyways, Aja's getting to just Aja keeping the pressure on as the squad's here. Junja is way out of position. And he's going to have to run the W over the wall with the follow from Karaoke. Wiser's here to keep it going. And that's going to be a return to base for Junja. Wiser picks up a kill. And that's going to really damage, really hurt the advantage that Aja has been building up this game. Been spending a lot of time behind. And that's going to crush that. Aja's work for naught. All for nothing, as Pain Gaming able to answer back and get the Gnar head. Oh my goodness, that's weird. Okay, so it zooms in, they fix it, and then it just changes because get Gnar. As Maple is just really just fearless. I mean, Pain Gaming also fearless. They make the plays they want to make. They do not care. But just Maple is such a problem so far. Always playing the game he wants to play. No dams given. He's just going to get aggressive again. Guy is just a menace. Maple's just going to go walk somewhere else and reset. They threaten him. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if they threaten him. He can teleport back to base. Or back to... Oh, no, he can't. He's actually going to walk it. This is... Oh, it's cannon wave. Yeah, he's fine. Actually going to go... Gonna go... Mid and... Okay, they're reset. Okay, I see. No, I see what they're doing. They're sending Aja back top side. They're fixing the... Or not fixing the lanes, but they're unswapping the lanes now. As... Okay. They're keeping Titan and company mid. They're keeping the mid lane... Or the ADC's mid. Yeah, there's no chance PSG contests this. Look at where the wave... I mean, the wave's in the middle, but see where bot wave is? Yeah, there's no contest. Aja has to clear... Or not Aja. Maple has to clear that out. Betty's gonna shove out mid. This is pretty aggressive. And PNG, Pain Gaming controlled the objectives. I mean, they've been controlling the Drakes all series, but not controlling the Grubs is a first for PSG. Pain fans, they love this team and they want to see them do something that Brazil has not done in a while, and that is qualify for the second stage of a tournament. It would be a nice change of pace from what has been a rather, especially for Pan Gaming, as Betty forced to cleanse, not going to land the rooting shot either. And now Dinkato under turret. There's a teleport. Oh, it's his teleport. But it doesn't matter. They have the ward. They can't engage this unless Kuri really overextends. Yeah, no. Yeah, Woody's not going to anything for that. I have no ulti on the Ashe, but that doesn't really mean it. As Aja has ulti, so he's really going to be safe here. But there's the kick. As the flash, Aja just going to get ultied. And a bit of an interesting play from Aja there. No teleport available for Maple either. Kato just shows up, pushes ulti, and then Weiser gets the kill. Really all they need. There's no teleports now for Pain Gaming, so Maple's just gonna stare at Kuri. Oh, and he can't engage it. These minions are only gonna die to turrets, so it's just dropped XP and gold. It's not going to be any... It's not going to cost them much more. Oh, Maple went back to pick plating in bot side. Nice. They're looking for a play here. Maple's gonna spot it out pretty early. He's gonna spot it out. It's really just not. He's just gonna cancel Kuri's reset. Legit. Grubs finished by Junja. It's gonna be a 3-3 split for the first time at Worlds, actually. For the first time, we're not gonna see any Kevins on the Rift. Kato. Smart play. Knowing Aja, Woody, and Junja are up here, not really worth standing there. Maple facing down. Weiser. Gonna wait. Dinkato. The ulti not gonna connect, that's fine. Just waiting. Played patient. I said they play aggressive, not stupid. That is fair. I do say they play aggressive, not stupid. They know when not to be aggressive, but they like being aggressive when they have a chance to be. Ginger needs to be very careful here. I don't see him dying. They've spotted out Kuri. I don't think they've spotted out Karaoke. Ton no ulti right now. Maybe for that for a while. Betty's just going to try and get fed. They just need to keep trying to get Betty fed, but he's going to be playing catch up for a little bit by a few 100 or so gold, 200 gold. Yeah. Give or take. Full finished. That was a bit of completion. Bottom bar there, but that's the Cole completed. Should be an item for Betty at this point. Yep, that's the static shiv done. Asha is good, but a lot of damage. Break in a minute, so PSG have a little bit of time before they need to do anything. See what they can do. And Gaming rotating a lot of members to get these mid and bot waves pushed in. They can start focusing on break fight. Need to. Aja can't really contest Dinkato though. Is the most important thing. Aja cannot fight Dinkato. He's a Syndra. That is a Vayne. Vayne versus Syndra, famously not a good matchup for the Vayne. I mean, unless you have dance moves. We've seen Maple have some nice dance moves, but I don't think Aja and Maple have the same ease of execution. They're gonna get the engage onto Kuri. Not really who you want, but Karaoke gonna get denied the insect there. It's gonna be ulti forced out of Kuri as well. So Cyclone for Unbreakable Will. There we go. As Kuri gonna tank that. It's Titan. Oh, that's a lot of stun going through. The ulti coming out now. Curtains opened. They're just gonna get as much as they can here. But that is a lot of pressure still in favor of Pain Gaming. They removed it because there was a fight. Look at that top lane economy. Yep. That kill, those kills have mattered a lot for Aja, as they have no solar flare, but they still have the advantage here. They are starting this. Maple is damaged, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, as Weiser is still just staring at them. Eddie, Woody can't involve themselves in this fight, and that's going to be another double Drake stack for Pain Gaming. That is huge for Pain Gaming here. Resistances against Vayne is going to really deny those 2 shots that matter. Or the 2 shots that lead up to a very big auto attack. Okay, so they want Rift Herald here. Only seen 1 Rift Herald. Of the 2 we've seen half a 50% Rift Herald rate so far in this game, or in this series. We saw both Rift Heralds taken in series number 1. So what is the angle here? A lot of damage from that Q4. We're gonna need to really figure out their angle. It's only about a 1,000 gold lead, but 500 gold. So it's not massively. There's no big gold swings right now. There is 1 big gold target if they want to go for Wiser. But there's a lot PSG need to get through to be able to hit Titan. If they hit that rooting shot, he's dead. Like, if they hit that rooting shot, he's dead. As Maple's in the back of the pit right now. It's kind of dangerous. Titan has ulti here if they want to go for it. We're going to Hex Flash away. Junja going to disengage here. It's not really a fight they can take right now, especially with Wiser coming back in. Herald's going to reset twice. Jeez. A 3rd reset on the Herald. I don't see it happening here. That's the jump onto Woody here. As Woody's just gonna jump onto Wiser here, or onto Karaoke, and Karaoke's gone. Teleport in now from Aja. Junja's gonna give his life if he needs to, as there's the ulti coming in. Wiser on a killing spree. He's gonna get pushed away. He wallops the wrong way as well. The Gnar catches no one, and now Maple has found Kuri, and it's a 2-for-1 in favor of PSG, as Asha is just staring at him. It's a shutdown for Maple as he flies in face first. The curtain call finds no one, but that's not what's mattering. PSG find the fight. And Betty has cleansed. They cannot even try to ult him if they wanted to. Just sends Wiser back to his own team. You can't wall up your own team, but Aja made sure that his team wasn't getting walloped at least. And now Maple 3-0 again on this Akali. He's once again a problem. It's still very playable for both teams here. This is not even close to win. Like, this is not even... Yes, that is an objective fight win for PSG, but it is far from a straight-up win. I saw the yellow, and I thought it was Karaoke, because I was like, oh, he's going to Mega. Wiser walloped the wrong way, but I don't think it would have made a difference. Wiser getting hit by the 4 shots. Dinkato able to get out. Yeah, that face is adequate. As Wiser's getting dove right now. They're going to get rid of this turret, as that's a good Gnar. But Woody's just tanking up the turret, so who gives a damn? As that's the stun. Double CC. And Weiser's all alone. Junja gonna pick up that one. They'll get two turrets for it in exchange. It's not a bad position to be in, as there's no teleports available for PSG either. Ooh, that's really big. I think that's gonna be gone. But they're gonna take this tier 2 in bot lane as well to match it. That will be the tier 2 gone in top lane. As that will be a tier 2 for a tier 2. They don't match the tier 1 in. But it's a 3 turret play to a 2 turret play. It's not awful for PSG. I mean, a kill in both bot turrets in exchange for a tier 2, both turrets in top and a mid turret. I think it's still favoring PSG there. And Gaming made a good play there, like, absolutely. Break it 5 seconds. PSG have everything. And Gaming have everything. Besides, they're missing a couple flashes. I think everyone's missing a flash, besides Betty and Woody. Basically, were fight. How does he dodge these? So good. PSG Talon. Not going to be able to position as aggressively. Maple's just going to go for the top turret. They are not even going to try and steal as here comes the teleport from Maple. They don't have a fight, though. That's going to be the Drake. Junja stuck in the middle of no man's land. Maple trying to engage. There's the curtains coming out. Maple's going to find one. It's going to be curtains on Karaoke, but it's not going to be enough to finish the job. It's 1 for nothing. It's a 2 for nothing, but it's still a dragon for Pan Gaming. One auto attack away for PSG from denying the Drake Soul point, but it's Baron time. They have Vayne. They have Vayne. They have Wukong. They have damage this time. They need to stop them here. Karaoke. And that's just going to be Woody hitting him, stunning him up. They're going to chase down They're going to try and jump out of Woody here. It's not really going to matter. Woody's just going to be able to flash away to safety. And Gaming have to surrender the Baron after a Drake. They won. They lose the Drake fight. They lose the Baron in the end because of it. They'll lose. Oh, he'll win the Raptors. But that is crucial, as it's now 3,500 in favor of PSG Talon. How did this go? One smite. Aja doesn't really have the auto. A lot. As they're jumping in on Woody, I don't think Kuri's going to go for this. Or Maple's going to go for this. The rooting shot connects, but I don't see an engage angle for PSG. Thing going. Pain Gaming have fended them off. Can run away here. Weiser is in misery. Oh, and Jojo just gonna jump over the wall. Great kick, though, to save his top laner. PSG just playing aggressive. Very aggressive play. PSG. They're gonna be still about 4-ish thousand, 3,500 gold ahead. They are just going crazy. Maple again, the man of the match so far. 4-0-1 on this Akali. They pretty much neutralized all of Pain Gaming's early advantages. Not a ton for Pain Gaming to do. Titan gonna dodge another one of these roots. Just been doing it a ton, as Junja going to get knocked up by the Alistar. The solo player not gonna connect. Karaoke not gonna take his Q. Not hitting these W's. Actually gonna push on his top side. He's been more of a side lane than he has been much anything else. not going to get the W. Betty going to hit this as that's a forced stun. Forced cleanse out. Talon going to be able to dodge away again from the W. Betty just not getting a ton out of this Jhin. He's been playing well, but it just hasn't been a lot. Put pressure on, but he cannot get execute. Yeah, it's still about 4 gold. The gold difference, I'm just not moving. Judge's camera has destroyed itself. But he swung this advantage back into his favor. 2 items. 2.5 items. When Titan is only on 2. He is very good spot. Before the Drake comes up. This is soul point, so PSG actually need to answer this. It is the strongest Drake in the game. The strongest Drake soul in the game. It gives you old static shift. On attack every few seconds. Or on hit every few seconds. Can't say on hit. On hitting an enemy with anything. Chain lightning. I can't say on hit because on hit implies auto attacks and specific spells. I forgot about that. Aja? Okay, that was just a tumble. Hard to tell with that skin, actually, in the river. Jumping in onto Kuri here. There's the airborne. Aja doesn't really care. Interesting Cyclone, though. Unbreakable Will down. Will's just gonna go kill Wiser, though. Woody is just waiting to ulti, as they're gonna send him over the wall, but that's not gonna matter. As Judge is getting rooted up, the curtains will open, and there's a nice jump in from Woody as Betty has found Kuri. Karaoke gonna go in. He's sent back out. As Titan going to fall, or going to pick off Woody here. The stun onto Aja. They're going to get the Hextech Drake, but are they going to be able to survive the Hextech Drake fight? Maple's going in. It's 2 for Pain. It's a double for Wiser, but it's a triple for Maple. It's the ace for PSG, and they're going to be pushing this thing in. Betty picks up, holy cow, 9 of 10 die, and it all just starts with this engage from Junja, actually. And then this really interesting, this really awkward looking engage. How does he hit that shot? But Woody pretty much just forces all of Pain Gaming to stand still. That's what matters, because now that stun onto Karaoke gets them the Drake. And now Maple's just free to do whatever he wants. Betty has gotten his parakills. There's nothing Pain Gaming can do to stop PSG Talon from cleaning up this fight. And yeah, that is the face you make when you that is the face you make when you have a mildly like a disappointing team fight. It looks so promising for Pain Gaming. That looked great. Are you kidding me? Started off so well, but they just could not finish off Maple. Maple is such a problem, and now he's even more. He's tankier now as well. 50 armor plus 120 AP, and a stasis every 2 minutes. It was really promising. That Gnar ulti shutting down Asha was huge. And that was pretty much the first really solid fight we've seen from Pain Gaming in quite a while. They've been struggling to pick up a lot of kills here this game, or in this late game, as that's a 2-man stun, and that's going to be Dinkato going back to the fountain. Karaoke, they're going to juggle the bullets pretty well, as Kuri going to end up with the lowest health out of all of them. But huge play there. Great stun from Woody off the solar flare. Gets 2 nice rooting shot. We've seen Betty struggle with those a little bit this series. The players know how to move around them, but also kind of just missing some of them, and they're just starting the bear. Aja and Junja have really good damage. And now Woody and Maple could just bodyguard as the triple damage, the triple AD threats of PSG Talon. Just finish the job here. The arrow not even going to connect. I don't think it would have killed the Baron. It would have been nice to hit at least. That's why they're going to dodge away from that one. Betty thinking about it. He wants this 4 shot so badly. Onto Weiser, he's gonna get it. They are just in control. They're gonna steal away this blue buff from Pain Gaming. And oh my goodness, he's level 16. And Kato level 14. This is just a rough game. It isn't even a screw you Dinkato game. Like, or screw you Dinkato lane like the last 2 were. This one is actually a pretty safe blind lane for Dinkato, and he had a pretty decent laning. Just Maple really did not let himself do anything. Is that's a nice stun for Jun or onto Junja, a nice combo. Uri going to get the clone out at least, but that's really it. It's just gonna be a reset anyways, which Pain weren't really gonna need to force. PSG wanted to reset no matter what. Got a lot of money. Waiting on the gold. There it is. Infinity Edge finished. That is 4 crit items. 100% crit now for the Jhin. It's a lot of damage because his 4th shot scales off crit. Might be all of them, but I know 4th shot for certain. Jhin is gonna hurt. Uri is tanky. Which is not bad actually. He's still a good build. Support income is a joke. This Gnar is not really. I mean, the Randuin's is gonna be nice, but that's really all it's gonna be. Nice. Weiser has. He's had some good plays. I can't even say he hasn't been able to do it. He's had some good plays. Again, that Drake fight was really well played from Weiser. Did he get it? As Maple, he's the wrong way, and that is not what you want to see. There's the shutdown. It's going to Titan. It's a huge for Pain Gaming. And there's no ultis that can stop the recalls here. What are they going to do here? As that's a base from Aja. Aja going to be able to teleport in. The rooting shot not going to connect. As Aja going in behind. Interesting, as there's the engage onto Kuri. Aja does so much damage. He's already getting flashes out, just standing there. The Drake just going down. It's going to be a flip unless they can kill off Junja. Junja low. Can they get him? They won't get him. It's not going to be a flip, though. Titan goes down. It's a Drake fight win. What the hell? It's a triple for Aja. It looked like it was going to be a flip. How does Junja survive that with no health? Doesn't matter. He gets the smite. They kill Titan, and it's all she wrote for Pain Gaming. They had a shocker in game 1. That's the execute. Whoops. A shocker upset in game 1, but it doesn't matter. PSG flex their might in games 2 and 3, and that's all they need. They face Mad. Pain face the Vikings. And what a win for PSG from what the hell happened in game number 1 to damn, this team might be good in game 2 to, ooh, okay, they know what they're doing in game number 3. Pain Gaming put up one hell of a fight, too, in game 3. Don't even get me started. Like, that was unreal. And the Pain fans still going. And that's awesome. That is exactly what I want to hear. Like, I want to hear that, no matter what. Win, lose, you back your team, and these Pain fans love their team. And they are, of course, not happy to see the 2-1, but that was not a bad showing. Considering Loud did not, I believe, did not win a game at Worlds last year. If I'm not mistaken, they have won one international game in the past 2 years. It has been a really bad year for Brazil internationally. Oh no, they did. They did win. I don't know why they phrase it like that. They didn't beat PSG. Is the most important. They got 2-0'd by PSG. They won 2 games, then went 0-4 at last year's World. Then at MSI, they went 1-4, which is really bad. So yeah, this is already an technically not an improvement, because last year they made the qualifying match immediately for Group A after 2-0ing GAM. Was it GAM they beat, and then they lost to them in the rematch, I think. And then they got 2-0'd by PSG. Yeah, 2-0'd by GAM after. But I mean, this is already, I think, a better showing than Loud last year, honestly. Coming out swinging in game 1, just punching PSG in the mouth, and then having a really, I mean, yes, bad game 2, but then a really, really good game 3. Like, they obviously didn't win, so it wasn't really, but it was one I would consider a good game. They played as best they could. It sucks that it was a team that just found their pace as the series went on. That really sucks for them. But got the Vikings in 2 or 3 days. I don't know. We can check that, because I know tomorrow's matches. Really hot in this room, actually. Oh my god. Yeah, I've been getting hype, especially because PSG. I thought it'd be a lot cleaner, but fine. Yeah, so Saturday, they got a match with Vikings Esports. Really, Vikings? Oh, yeah, it is. With VKE to see who is advancing to Sunday's matches for the last chance qualifier. What is the last chance qualifiers? They're not the same as last year's, though, because the LCQs from last year were, what do you call it? Or no, the LCQs were BO3. I forgot BO3, or last year had a different format, because the winners of each group didn't know. They got side selection. Last chance the lower bracket, they have VKE, and then whoever wins the lower bracket of Group B, or no, they face either the Mad Lions or PSG. Oh god, are you serious? Really? Ooh, I feel like they should have faced the other bracket, but we'll get there when we get there. And Mad Lions versus PSG on Friday, but tomorrow things kick off, or not even things kick off, but Group B kicks off. GAM versus the SoftBank Hawks first, or SoftBank Hawks Gaming first, and then 100 Thieves defend North America's honor. Very big, like a rookie team, pretty much, against Rainbow Seven in the in the preview match of the Americas Conference, especially because both of these teams will be in the North Conference next year. Rainbow Seven hasn't been confirmed yet, but they would be in the North. They're from Mexico. So this is a North Conference preview if Rainbow Seven make it in, as 100 Thieves are confirmed to be staying in North America, or remaining in the NA League scene. See if Rainbow Seven hang around for the LLA spot, but that is it for today's Kimchi Cast. We saw a banger and a snoozer in Mad versus Vikings, and then banger, and banger in PSG versus Pain Gaming. And that's awesome. I've been your host, Box Kimchi, and I will see you for tomorrow's games actually done on time, because I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So they'll release at a normal human. Promise. See you tomorrow.